I'm not doing that shit again. Fuck it. We'll do it live. We are live now. What's up, man?
Listen, no intro. Listen, we're
no
going
intro, man.
Straight in.
Yeah, for sure, man.
We didn't even knock. We're just coming in.
What's going on? How's
Dude,
life?
I'm well.
Yeah.
Memorial Day weekend. Memorial Day didn't work today. Still gonna bill my company for the full week.
Time and a half.
It feels great. Still getting paid.
Yeah, man.
That's the best shit.
Yo, I was really thinking about this. Is Memorial Day officially like the kickoff? Is that where we are saying that summer doesn't begin until Memorial Day?
I think so. Yeah, I think that's the official. Okay. We're transitioning from spring to summer.
Yeah.
Summer dresses come out.
Yeah.
When actually the first day of summer is when you see that first ass in a summer dress just clapping. It's summer. It's like when the groundhog comes out of
because some people like the cold weather, so sometimes you see that.
We worry about them. We can talk about them. Fuck them. Talking about the booty cheeks in the summer dress. That's officially when it starts. You got to see your first booty cheeks jiggling in that summer dress. That's it.
All right, fair enough. That's not scientific enough for me, but all right, fair enough.
This is not a politically correct podcast. Okay,
it's not about being politically correct. I just don't know what the fuck that what is. I just see somebody in a dress, and then all of a sudden,
it's like the groundhog.
Summertime.
Is the groundhog? Is that like scientific?
No, but they know that
groundhog could be like, you could leave some food outside, and it's like, oh, the groundhog come out to eat the food, and like everyone's like, oh, Groundhog Day. Like, nah, y'all set that shit up.
What the fuck are you talking about right now?
Listen, there are things in which we do not need an explanation for. We just need it to happen.
Hey, fair enough, man. Look, let's just jump into the shit, man. We missed last week. Our apologies. Our schedules just did not link up last week. We could not make the fucking Captain Planet shit work last
Life
week.
happens.
Yeah, you know how like the Planeteers, they just get together and they're like, all right, water,
heart,
earth. We just could not make that shit happen last week. But we are back this week nonetheless. I love springtime, so it actually does piss me off that we didn't even really have a spring this year, right? Like it just kind of just jumped from winter to just like all of a sudden we're in summer. We had like maybe a week there. Maybe. Yeah,
it was a little bit of a condensed spring. It was like I think we had like 2 weeks of spring, and then it's like hot again, or it jumped back to being cold for a little bit.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like we never really got officially like spring. Okay, the birds outside chirping and shit like that. It's so feeling a little wavy outside. You feel summer approaching.
Yeah,
it just literally jumped from all right, it's cold as shit, kind of not cold as shit,
a little bit more cold.
And now we're in summer.
Yeah.
So
but I'll take it because there were a couple days back in like January, February when it was just like, yo, this is not it
for the birds.
I need something else.
Or I guess maybe not for the birds, since
when I'm like, yo,
still down south.
I'll move to Florida and be around all the Republicans.
Would you actually move to Florida?
So I was down in Florida at the beginning of this month, and I think when my daughter graduates high school, I think I'm out. For me, it's either gonna be like North Carolina, maybe Georgia, like just outside of Atlanta, not actual Atlanta, or Florida Gulf Coast though, not like Fort Lauderdale, not Miami, like Sarasota. I could do St. Petersburg, Tampa, or Portland, Denver.
Yeah, you really like Portland.
You
fuck with Portland.
I love Portland.
I know there are a lot of racists.
Super white. Oh my God, Portland.
Oregon,
MASH was filmed in Portland.
MASH, the show.
Yeah,
ew. Oh God,
that's the whitest show I could think of at the moment to fill in that joke. But it's like super super white. So yes, you're going to run into racism at least once a day. But it's nice. It's beautiful. The weather's nice.
I guess whatever you can stomach.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, would you rather run into racism when it's cold?
Yeah.
Or it's like a nice, beautiful day and, you're still going to have to deal with it. It's America. It's still very prevalent.
Yeah.
But I'd rather the weather be nice. If I have to deal with it anyway.
Yeah, all right. Until that shit shows up on your front lawn.
I'd rather be warm.
Shout out to Addie real quick. Addie, I got your text, dude. I've been meaning to hit you back. We're still on. We're still doing the shit. It's just schedule's been fucking crazy. So me responding to text is a little spotty these days.
You're the worst.
I am not good at responding to text.
I'll text you like 3 days later. You'll be like, yeah. You're not good with it.
I'm not.
You also have this old ass extra small iPhone.
No, it's a newer iPhone and it's small on purpose.
Why do you get the smallest one?
Because I just fit in one hand. I just need one hand to operate my device. I don't fucking need like a fucking stylus and shit. Like, no, we're not doing any of that. Just give me one hand. Boom, boom, boom. We're good to go.
Yeah, I think we all use one hand.
No. Can you actively right now, right? How long can you keep that going the way you're doing it right now?
All day.
Before you have to keep it grab it with two hands.
All day.
And this sounds like a weird conversation if somebody just walked in midway, but
yeah, true. So the iOS, the operating system for the iPhone, it's designed so that most of everything that you need is in the bottom right corner.
You know what? I'm not even going to justify it. I don't even care. Yeah. I just want something small enough.
This is what someone sounds like
where
they're wrong.
My hand doesn't fucking cramp up, by extending.
No one's hand cramps. Whose hand cramps?
What are you talking about? People's hands cramp.
You're just making shit up.
You told me it the other day.
It's entirely fabricated. Entirely fabricated.
Anyway, shout out to Addie, man. So let's just jump into some movie shit, man. Like let's start talking movie shit. So getting into some this week, next week, not much coming out this week except for we of course had Top Gun that just came out, Maverick, that's breaking all sorts of records.
Yeah, this is Tom Cruise's biggest opening weekend for any film or his entire film
Weirdly
career.
enough, it was the Top Gun before. Yo, people really fucking like planes. Or jets, maybe more specifically.
I feel like there's a lot of America behind it, right? So this is a military film about fighter pilots, and I feel like I'm not gonna say all. This is gonna sound fucked up, but I feel like a lot of like older or middle-aged white men, they all wish they were like, I wish I was a fighter pilot. Like,
we're definitely gonna talk about this a little later in terms of just like propaganda in movies.
Yeah.
So we're definitely gonna chop it up about this coming up. But
have you ever wanted to fly a plane or be a fighter pilot?
Only in the sense that no.
Yeah, I don't want to be like in the air and somebody's behind me trying to shoot me down.
It feels like a lot of responsibility to be up there.
And those planes be like $30 million for the plane.
Yeah, it's like, what are we doing? I can't.
My insurance does not cover.
You know how much I scratch my wheels just parallel parking? Like I can't.
Oh my God. Yeah, when I scratch my rims, I'm like, fuck. Or if you scratch, I'm not scratching a $30 million plane while someone is trying to shoot me down, and now I got to fucking.
Yeah, it feels like, you know what that feels like? That feels like fucking that feels like entrapment. That's what that feels like. I try to use that word as much as I can.
It's a good word.
Yeah.
Good word.
That feels like somebody's trying to trap me in a situation here.
You remember the movie Black Hawk Down? Who was in that movie? Owen Wilson, right?
I believe Owen Wilson.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Hawk Down.
Yeah. He's got the nose. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Owen Wilson. I just remember watching that movie. He had to pull the thing and fly out of the jet and land in like Russia or Siberia. It was cold as fuck, and then
wasn't that called Behind Enemy Lines? Isn't that what that was? Am I getting that wrong?
No, I think Behind Enemy Lines is a different movie.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure Black Hawk Down was Owen Wilson.
I didn't watch either of them, so
but anyway, I remember watching that movie and I was like, yeah,
Addie
that's
says
not for me.
It's Owen. So I was.
It is Owen Wilson? Okay, yeah.
Oh wait, no, I was right. That's called Behind Enemy Lines. Yeah.
But it was Owen Wilson?
Yeah.
Okay, 50-50.
Yeah, and it was it was in Bosnia and Serbia.
Ooh, I do like Bosnian women and Serbian women.
Okay.
Yeah,
we just lost you there. Come back to us right now.
Listen, I Eastern European. But anyway, I remember watching that movie and being like, "Yo, being a fighter pilot, flying a jet, that shit's not for me."
Yeah.
Could you imagine someone shooting you out of the sky? I don't even like when people cut me off on the highway, but now someone is trying to shoot you down.
Oh yeah, that'd be reckless.
I don't love my country that much. Take it, you got it.
You got it.
Same minds anyway. What are we fighting for?
Immediately give up.
We're fighting for freedom, but none of us are free. Yeah. Let's land.
Let's talk about this. Let's go grab some burgers. Like what?
Bosnia has great food. Let's just land. Let's talk about it.
So anyways, Top Gun doing marvelously at the box office. Yeah, dude, I think this might be the last go over for Tom. I think everybody's asking the question, oh, like, is he the last big like movie star? No, not at all.
Yeah, he's got he has another Mission Impossible movie coming out, so he's still got more shit.
He's the only one from that generation who doesn't still doing it. Also, for some reason, doesn't look like he ages, even though you're starting to tell a little bit like, oh God, whatever work you're getting done, it's starting not to have the effect that you want it to have because his face look a little bloated.
You can only fight this shit off for so long.
Yeah, whatever.
Now, granted, he still looks great for his age,
but that's just it. I don't know if he does look great for his age because he's starting to look like a fucking mannequin, right? So it's just like I don't know if that means you look great for your age.
Tom Cruise looks really good for his age. I think we all know that. Come on.
No. But how
old is he? He's like 50.
No, he's gotta be pushing close to 60 now.
You think so?
Gotta be.
Yo, Tom Cruise do not look as good as
was
Tom
like
Cruise.
30 when he made the original Top Gun. He wasn't like that.
Yeah,
He was like little. He's like 20 something.
Yeah. He looks great for his age. I'll give him that. There's probably a lot of Botox there. Sure, a couple surgeries.
At least, yeah.
I don't know his medical history. That's a HIPAA law, right? That's what anti-vaxxers like to say when you're like, "Are you vaccinated?" HIPAA laws. He looks great for his age. He's still in good shape. He's doing movies like fucking Top Gun, Mission Impossible. He's still running 1 mile in every movie. Good for him.
Yeah,
I haven't ran in a mile in quite a while.
Yeah, I know. Embarrassing for you. We were walking back from a bar. We hadn't walked a quarter mile, and you were like, "Guys, how far away is this?"
Yeah, what are we doing? Also, though,
Jesus,
my leg, my Achilles is trash.
Don't try to.
It's listen. If I could throw this one away and get a new one, I would. I swear.
If you don't use it, you lose it, right? So fucking, you gotta walk.
We walked 4 miles.
We walked.
I was wearing jeans, walking 4 miles.
We walked the equivalent of what somebody would walk in their house, getting across from one side of their house to the other. That's exactly
Jeff Bezos' house or Oprah's house, Drake's house, big ass house.
Anyways, what the fuck are we talking about? Top Gun. So yeah. Anyways, that's doing great in the box office right now. We're gonna talk about that a little later in terms of just like propaganda film. But dropping this particular week, we've got, or I'm sorry, next week is Miss Marvel. So it's the series coming from. Is that your stomach gurgling? What was that?
I just drank some water. So that was
you sound like a monster.
That was a throat gurgle.
Yeah, I just watched Stranger Things. That sounded like one of the fucking upside down world monsters coming through. So yeah, Miss Marvel dropping next week on Disney Plus.
Didn't the Marvels, the upcoming Marvel film,
that's a
get
movie.
pushed back?
Did it? I don't know.
I think it got pushed back.
Okay.
A bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, and like something. There's a
lot of Marvels.
So yeah, in the MCU, there are like 4 or 5 different people who go by Marvel or Miss Marvel or Captain Marvel or like the Marvel.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be. Hopefully, it won't suck as much as the first one.
No, I think it'll be cool. It'll be good, and they're going for a whole different vibe than they did with the first one. So, different directors, different writers. I do believe so.
Different cast.
Well, so sort of different cast, but it's still gonna have Brie Larson. So also next week we've got Jurassic World, Dominion coming out. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. I have never. I
haven't seen the last 4. I think. Yeah. How many? This is Chris Pratt's third film.
Yeah.
Okay, so I haven't seen any of his.
Yeah, there were. I saw the first one. I didn't see the second one. But I have nothing against them. It's not like I hate the movies.
Yeah, I don't hate them. I got it after the first.
Yeah, it's like dinosaurs.
Yeah,
cool.
They redid the shit.
Yeah,
the fucking DNA, the mosquito. You know what I mean? They fucked up.
It's like remixing the same song over and over. And at a certain point, it's just like, well, why don't we just do a different song, right? Like
the third remix, we're gonna remix the remix of Ignition. It was already remixed. Why are we doing this again? R. Kelly's like, please remix Ignition.
Dude, I need the residuals. I don't really. I have no care for, and I think I just was never really into like dinosaurs. But even so, and honestly, and this is coming as somebody who, even as a kid, I was in awe of what they were able to pull off, what Spielberg was able to pull off with the original Jurassic Park and just how realistic everything looked, and watching also some like documentaries in terms of how it was made is fucking amazing, right? But also, I get it. Like after, like you're right. After like the first time, it's like cool, right?
How many times are we gonna keep making the mistake of like, oh well, we genetically engineered and modified a T-Rex.
It's like
now has longer arms. We fucked up.
Well, you know what? Honestly, that probably is a little bit of art imitating life, because we do consistently do dumb shit like all the time. Like we found out once upon a time, like, hey, you know what? Smoking not that great for you. You know, kills people.
Probably not a good idea.
Let's continue.
30,000 feet in the air.
You know, people are still like, yeah, just get nicotine, more nicotine. You know,
the one thing I do like about this upcoming film, I watched the trailer, is they have corrected what we know, or at least what we've learned about dinosaurs since, right? So we've learned that like the Velociraptor is more closely related to the bird family.
Try to sound really smart here.
No, this is common knowledge. This is we've learned that the Velociraptor is more closely related to like the bird family, right, than lizards. So in the film, you'll see that the Velociraptors, a lot of them have like feathers and wings and so on and so on. Mm-hmm. So I like the fact that they're incorporating like what we've learned.
Okay. Did you even watch? You didn't even watch the fucking movie. So how do you even like it?
In the trailer, you see. I watched the trailer. In the trailer, is the movie out yet?
This next one?
Yeah.
No.
Of course, I didn't see it.
It comes out next week. We're literally talking about it coming out next week.
Yeah, well, it's not next week, so I haven't.
No, I'm sorry. I thought you meant like I was talking about the
previous ones. No, I was talking about based off what I see from the trailer, and like I also watched a little thing on like the making of it, and a big part of it was the correction of what we've learned about certain dinosaurs and like how they, what they ate, what they look like, so on and so on. I think that's cool. Yo,
do you think dinosaurs talked?
I think they talk as much as like lizards talk animals now. Yeah.
So I just, it's crazy.
You mean like talk?
Yeah, like, you know, maybe not. Like they weren't fucking.
Are you saying, did they communicate?
They weren't spitting verses. Like they didn't give ciphers, but like
Velociraptor.
You know, like so the reason why I even wonder this is because it's like, yo, before humans like, you know, started roaming the fucking earth and shit, it was like, yo, they had an entire shit going, and then just like, how advanced was their society? Was it just like they just like, were they building shit? Like I know the T-Rex, the arms only go so far, but it's like,
I don't think they had like maybe they were a bit more intelligent than like we give them credit for.
Yeah,
we
really don't know.
All of the shit we think we know.
There's probably somebody who's like, no, we definitely know. And you're an idiot.
Like, no, you don't. You're 40. Like, there's no way you know what happened a million years ago.
Wait, no, but there is certain ways like you can tell based on like, I guess, the brain size, or like, you know, I don't fucking know.
But we don't have
I want to say
the
some shit that I have
actual
not.
brain. Yeah, we didn't like interview them.
Don't they? Don't they like Isn't
I don't think there's any preserved dinosaur brain. We may have skull and brain matter.
They probably do.
That was like frozen.
Google will tell us.
Nah, that shit is fake.
Dinosaur brains. This is gonna like. Look at my search history.
It's a million years old. I don't have T-shirts from like more than 10 years ago. Think they have a brain of a dinosaur? No.
Yeah, it could be like preserved in some sort of like amber or something like that. Some sort of mineral.
They got the mosquito.
I don't know what the fuck I'm talking.
Remember the first movie? All they were able to preserve was a mosquito.
Dinosaur brains.
Sap.
Just the topic, dinosaurs are once regarded as a stupid animal, but is now realized that some of the smaller, and I'm not even gonna read anymore. So basically, we don't know. Is essentially like sort of the situation there.
Just like space, it's just educated guesses.
No, what you can definitely like from certain tools, like so. For instance, that's why we have.
We still don't know if there's life on Mars. We've been studying it for 100 years.
Yo, did you hear about like how they found like a fucking like a door or some shit like that on Mars?
Yeah,
the fuck,
huge like doorway. Yeah,
nigga, what?
Listen, none of my business.
Yeah.
None of my business. I'm over here, they over there. We
keep
it like that.
It's like, yo, come on, you guys can't be surveilling my house. Like, what the fuck? I'm on Mars, nigga. I'm here for a reason. Get out of my shit.
Absolute trespassing. We have no business there. My girlfriend is always like, oh, like if you can go to space, would you? No.
You wouldn't go to space if you could. Like, if somebody like fucking like they were handing out tickets, like they're giving out fair
if I got a free
tickets,
ride
you wouldn't
with
go.
Jeff Bezos,
you're fucking crazy. What,
bro?
Why?
The number one shit that I need.
Yeah.
The top 3 things that I need to like survive. Yeah. They don't have air, water, and like food. They don't have that shit,
nigga. But you'd be in space, like just to experience zero gravity. No, nothing.
No,
doesn't do anything for you. You're crazy, dude. I'd do that in a fucking heartbeat.
I'll see you when you get back. Like, I'm not going though. I can't breathe there.
Yeah, no, but you're in a ship, dude. Like you
what
also,
if something happens?
You also can't.
Ship?
I'm sure you probably can't swim that well, but yet you'll fucking take like a cruise or some shit out in the fucking middle of the water.
Cruise. I don't like cruises. It's scary.
You've been on a boat, okay? All right, level with me. Yeah.
Close enough to land to where I could swim back.
Could you though? Yeah. Like if somebody dumped you right in the middle of the fucking.
Oh no, you're dead. But I know that. I'm at peace with that.
But exactly, that's what I'm saying. So why wouldn't you just be at peace with like, okay, if something went wrong in space, it's like, yeah,
because
like,
I have like, I at least have a fighting chance. I can try.
Do you have a fighting chance?
If I'm out in open water, if I have like a basketball with me?
No,
at least,
no,
like
just you and your swimming abilities. No,
at least I could.
No, what I'm saying, forget the rationalization.
You gotta hope a cargo ship, comes by,
and that's fair. But
friendly dolphin.
For me, if I got tossed overboard or whatever, I assume that's it. I assume that's.
Yeah, I assume we're tread water and try to.
Yeah, like I'd hold my breath in space. I'd hold my breath for a second until somebody came out there.
The space is also like extremely cold.
Yo, we aren't even going to get to our show today because of this stupid conversation we're having.
Stupid.
But I'm trying to imagine like, yo, being in space and trying to take a breath. Like, and just the experience of just like, wait, there's nothing there. Like, what the fuck?
At least water, you get the water in.
That's even because I'm not even conscious of like, no, this is not what I want.
I would rather drown than be like airless and freezing.
I don't know how that feels. So,
and as far as I understand, space is so cold that you're actually going to freeze to death before you suffocate.
Perfect. Great.
That's fine by me. Face on for no reason.
They told me this shit worked in space.
Canada Goose does not work. It's meant for Canada, not space. It's just not going to keep me warm.
Nah, dude, I would 100% go to fucking space.
Do you remember the movie Alien, where the alien went down the dude's throat and then like grew in his stomach and just burst out of their chest?
Yeah, that was Prometheus. That wasn't Alien. Although it was.
Yeah, I feel like it happened in Alien. Yeah,
no, it was Alien. Prometheus is a part of the Alien franchise, but I was just trying to correct you in terms of the actual movie because there's the actual movie called Alien, right?
Yeah,
in Alien.
Well, yeah, in Prometheus, remember the big monster?
Yeah. Oh my!
The tentacle down the dude's throat. No, see, I'm not going to space. I'm cool with that.
You act like that was like a documentary of like.
Yeah, I mean,
this is what happens.
What if it is fairly accurate? What if
anything's fucking accurate? All the horrible shit we see happening on Earth don't even need to go to movies. Just on the fucking news.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean? Like, is that much more appetizing?
Active shooter, you know what I mean? I could bust back. But like, if it's a fucking alien out in space and I shoot it like 10 times, it's just like
here's the thing, man. Is that
puts his dick down my throat? Puts babies in my stomach.
Yeah, you brought it there. I don't think there was anything about a dick. You know,
that's what they saw the
movie. Well, where do eggs come from? I don't think eggs don't come from dicks, right? Sperm comes from dicks, not eggs. Put an egg in its belly.
Do you think you think
it doesn't fucking matter?
You think you understand alien anatomy all of a sudden?
Nigga, do you?
I'm imagining they just shove their dick down your throat. Now you're pregnant.
So what the fuck?
No child support, nothing.
No. Just leash you out there on your own. It's like
it's yours. Take care of it.
You know, I know it takes two to tango, but I'm out this
for the next 30 minutes. Take care of it until it comes through your chest.
So I don't even know what the fuck I was even going to talk about. Let's move the fuck on, dude. I don't know how the fuck we got to that from Jurassic World Dominion, but that comes out next week. Okay, let's talk about some headlines. We already talked about Top Gun Maverick. Huge opening, Memorial Day weekend. Something about fucking jets and people feeling nostalgic about.
Yeah, do you know what cost them? 11, I think, like upwards of 11,000. And it was even, I'm pretty sure it was an hour to rent those jets to film that movie.
Say that one more time, sorry.
So to rent the fighter jets that they used to film the movie costs upwards of 11,000 per hour, I believe. Not a day.
I'm sorry. What, you thought it was going to be cheap?
I mean,
nigga, we're talking about jets.
Yeah.
Jets, nigga. Like,
yeah. I mean, I didn't expect it to be cheap, but that's also a crazy number too. Yeah. You know, 11,000 a day, I'd be like, yo, that's wildly expensive, but I get it. They're jets. But 11,000 an hour, someone just made up a price. Be like, yo, my commission on this rental is going to be insane if they agree to it.
Somebody like the fucking U.S., I guess what would they be?
I feel like there's someone who had to broker that like contract or the deal who's probably like a sales guy for the Air Force, and he's like, "Yo, let's see if they'll pay 11,000."
Let's just throw it out there.
I get see what they say. 6,000 on commission.
They were laughing like, "Nah, they ain't gonna accept this.
They're not gonna do this."
And then
Paramount Pictures is
greenlit it like,
"Yo,
these guys are crazy."
Close on the house. Call the pool people. We need it resurfaced.
Pool people, call the moat people. I need a fucking moat. So we talked about that opening. We also have to talk about, man. Sometimes you hear about somebody passing because we hear it all the time, but in the older we get, I feel like it's different for our generation than it was for a lot of the previous generation, especially like baby boomers and stuff, because it's like word travels, but it doesn't travel that fast, and also a lot of the people aren't like that well known, not as well known as people that we know in our generation, because people are like living longer now, you know what I mean? And also the internet was the thing basically prevalent in our generation. So a lot of people got famous and then got re-famous based off of shit circulating through the internet. So I feel like our generation, it's going to be rough for us because a lot of these people who are dying, everybody knows, right? It's not just like, just niggas in certain circles know these people. It's like you know what I mean? It's like everybody fucking knows. And so, you know, hearing about Ray Liotta passing, that hit me different because it's like, it's not Ray Liotta's time. It's not his time. Really? He's not old. Like he's old, but not like old where it's just like, okay, that makes sense, right? He's
Clint Eastwood. If I hear that he passed,
hey. You've lived a long and fruitful life.
I'm not saying that like I'm hoping for that.
No, but I would not
look at
not expect it,
his
right?
age and his life achievements and say, you know what, like that person had a long, great life and they will be celebrating their passing. But like at 93, if someone passes, it's like, okay, that makes sense. I think Ray Liotta passed that age. Was it 67?
67, I believe. Yeah.
Feels a little bit too soon.
Dude, and so, you know, and I could go through his catalog. I'm sure everybody who talks about it does. But really, there's just one movie that we all know him from, and honestly, I would consider probably the greatest movie I think I've ever seen, Goodfellas. Yeah. That's not saying it's my favorite movie, but I just there's nothing this movie is lacking.
Goodfellas has and will stand the test of time. Yeah. No matter fucking what. It was so great of a movie. It's like it's hard to even break it down to like what I like most about it. Yeah. Fucking everything.
Yeah. Like there's nothing to hate about this movie. And obviously he played the lead role in the film. Now he's had a very long career and he's done a lot of things both before and after that. But like this one hit a little different because it's just like we're going to get this a lot coming up because a lot of the people that we grew up with, like seeing, and the reason why I keep saying this is because it's like, like television, it was relatively new, like coming into the 70s, 80s. It's a relatively like new thing, especially for people to have, right? But in the 90s, standard fare, right? Yeah. Like everybody has, even if you're poor, you have a TV somewhere around you, you know? You movie theaters, yada, yada, right? Like, all of that stuff in the 90s is when it was just like, okay, we're really going to fucking like harness this shit, right?
Yeah. Remember you could steal cable back in the day?
Yeah, you can't really do that now. Yeah. That's like you can't, like, what are you going to do? Like, although I guess you can, like, the equivalent would be like
sharing passwords. I guess
either
like
sharing passwords
sharing
or going to sites, cable. You know, to like where they're showing movies that are still in theaters or whatever. Yeah. That would sort of be the new equivalent of that. But anyways, man, Ray Liotta passing, he was, I believe he was 67 years old. I think he just passed in his sleep, man. They're saying that there doesn't seem to be any sort of foul play in it. Sad to see him go, man. That's a weird one, you know?
And not a joke about Ray Liotta's passing. Love the man. Yeah. Thankful for him and his contribution.
God, please don't.
Don't go. I too would like to go in the Dominican Republic. Somewhere.
Yeah, he did pass away in the Dominican Republic. Yeah.
Again, not a joke about his passing, but like, I just hope it's pleasant.
Dude, I don't even want, you know, like it's a weird thing to like, or not a weird thing, but it's a thing to like wonder, like if I could know when I'm going to pass, what I want to know, but then two is just like, that would be crazy to know the circumstances. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, well, it's 30 years from now, and it's when you're, you know, fucking eating at, you know, fucking Panera Bread for some reason. Like that'd be a crazy thing to know, but like I definitely wouldn't want to know. Like I wouldn't want to dictate where I pass. I just want it to happen. Just happen, and it's over, and it's done. We're good.
No, see, I think if I could know, at least like the year. Maybe not like exactly how.
No, I don't want to know any of that shit.
So then that would change the trajectory of your.
Why would that
life.
Change anything? Why not just live as if you don't know? Because
like,
you really don't fucking know.
You don't know, but like you're not always gonna live as if you're about to die tomorrow, right?
And nor should you. I guess should be the case.
But what if you did know when you were gonna die?
That's what I'm saying.
Like, okay, I know that it's gonna be.
Could you imagine the wild shit you try to do? It's like people knowing, hey.
Well, so like it would have to be like, hey, you're gonna die in 30 years. It could be sooner if you fuck around.
Yeah.
But your time is.
I mean, that's literally all of us. Yeah, that's all of us. Like kind of like right now.
Sure, but like again, the thing is, we don't actually know. Like,
you do. You're human. You're gonna die. Definitely.
But again, it could be at 50. It could be at 60. It could be at 70, 80. What if you knew, hey, you were gonna pass at 85? So okay, bam, I've got 50 years to make sure that when my time comes, that I've done everything I want to do.
Well, what would you do different? Like, what would be the different thing?
I mean, I think it would be like, waste less time. Like,
what does that even mean? Waste less time doing what? Like what? Like if you knew you were gonna die, what is the thing?
Drinking beer, watching the fucking Celtics. Like
that's somebody's idea of peace, though. You know what I mean? Like honestly, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. If especially if I knew I was going to die, there would be almost like nothing better I'd want to do than to be, whether it's at a bar or restaurant or whatever, but like just chilling with my family. Maybe there's something on TV and just like reminiscing, laughing, doing that shit. So it's just like, sometimes it's like, yeah, that seems like some ordinary shit, but it's like, that's what I'm going to fucking miss. You know?
Yeah, I think it would change. I mean, I do think it would change a lot of people's perspectives. Like, you know what? Like, why the fuck am I working so hard for this bank?
But again, why are you doing that now? If you know you're going to die, we all know we're going to die.
Because like where we are now today, we're thinking about our lives now and like, hey, I want to be successful now and like make money so that like in my older age.
Okay, so here's what I'm trying to, like, the thing I'm trying to draw out to you is that it's different if you're like, next year I'm going to die, right? Mm-hmm. Kind of a different story because you know your time is very precious, right?
Of course, yeah.
Right. But if I knew I had 50 years, how is that different from what the fuck I'm doing now?
Sure. Like, but like what I'm saying is, let's say it's in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. Like that will change a lot. You're not going to keep doing the same shit. If somebody's like, hey, you're going to die in 10 years.
If I'm being, and this is me keeping a buck, honestly, it wouldn't change anything in a sense that I wouldn't then want to be like, oh my God, I suddenly have to go on that trip that I've been meaning to go to. Or I've got certain things that I want to do definitely before I die. And I'm already sort of like putting myself on the path to doing those things. But they're not things that I could speed up anymore
if I knew I was going to die in 10 years.
Yeah.
You're telling me tomorrow you would do the same shit that you were going to do?
Yeah. What else would I do? Like, am I not going to have to pay taxes?
So yeah, sure. But like, if I find out that I'm going to die in 10 years,
do I still not need money for the things I would want to do?
I'm not saying I'm going to quit my job right away.
Yeah.
But my plan, my perspective is going to be so drastically different if I knew I was going to die in 10 years.
That's something in you. I've made certain peace with myself.
I think you are. I appreciate what you're saying and like the sentiment.
You don't appreciate it, you asshole. But
I do think you're lying.
I hate when people are like, man, no, I appreciate what you're saying, but also fuck what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying. Because I know you're lying. Because I know it would be like,
no, it's
well, I think
God's
you're
the honest
maybe not
truth.
being honest with yourself about
I'm being
what that
dead.
would change.
No, I'm being dead. Okay, so the things that are important to me in life, and this is real talk. The things that are important to me in my life, family, and all I really want to do at the end of the day is make movies. So
you're telling me if you found out you were going to die in like 5 years, you wouldn't like, yo, I'm going to start filming that movie tomorrow. I want to.
No, because the like, so for instance, so I'm going to shoot something, but it's going to be in the fall. But there's nothing about me dying in 10 years, 5 years, whatever the case is, that's going to change that, because I would still need to do all the things I need to do leading up to making them. Like, I still need to take all the steps.
Do those things with a greater sense of urgency and purpose.
And if you that is now, yeah,
that's a problem.
Why is that a problem? I don't.
So like, if I find out I'm going to die in 10 years and I have a goal and I don't lock into that goal and say, hey, I got.
But again, the thing is that, like, I would need money in order to make the movie. And I would need to get money. Yeah, you need money to make a movie. Sure. You don't necessarily need money to make a movie, right? You could just film it on your phone, whatever. But in order to make whatever the specific type of movie you're trying to make, the movie that I'm trying to make, it's going to cost some money, right?
Sure. But I think if you were to find that information, you might make a different type of movie.
No. Oh, okay. So I should explain it this way. So I'm actually planning on making 3 different movies. Mm-hmm. The first one is not going to be one that's going to cost any money. The second one's going to cost a little bit of money. The third one is going to be like,
I would make a movie about a guy who found out he was going to die in 5 years.
Very original.
I would write it.
Very original.
Direct it and star in it.
No.
Don't even need a script.
Yeah, no. Just start filming. Just follow me around. Exactly. Yeah, it's going to be like The Office. You know, you're just going to be filming.
Like the Kanye documentary, where he just had people filming him 24/7. Like, just film me, and we'll just, when I die, just give the money to my kid.
Did you, this is, we might as well just throw this podcast away, because we are getting to absolutely nothing we want to talk about. But I'm going to.
We got 2 great trailers coming up pretty soon.
We do. Did you see that quote or headline? I guess from Kanye. It was like, he hasn't touched money in like years. Mm-hmm. Why is it a headline? I don't. Who thought this would be an interesting thing to like?
Yeah, I feel like
he's a rich ass dude. I just assume they don't fucking handle cash.
I mean, there are a lot of like what you usually see from like rappers, right? They walk around, they carry like shit tons of cash on them. Like, you remember that picture?
Yeah, dudes who are broke. Yeah.
Well, you remember that picture with Ellen and Migos, and they had like $100,000 cash on them. They're all just holding like $50,000 bricks.
Yeah, that's
of
done.
cash.
But it's
Ellen had like $4. She's just like,
yeah,
and she makes more money than all of them
combined. Yeah, like, but it's just like Jay-Z, the point that Jay-Z was making on 444, where he's like, dudes who hold money to the air, there's a disconnect. We don't call that money over here. Yeah. Like, yeah, that's exactly what that means. Is that holding the money up, doing all that stuff, is you trying to exude like, oh, I am so rich because I have these stacks of cash. It's like, actual rich people don't need to do that. Why would I want to do that? That seems like a waste of time.
Yeah. Now, and I will say that's not true for everyone. There are it all depends on your lifestyle, right? And like, some people who are very, very rich, they're just more flamboyant and flashy. They're like, they need the Lamborghinis and the Ferraris and always have cash on them, expensive. And then there's some people who are like, I have money and I don't need to show it, because you all know I have it. Like, that's why I love Chad Johnson so much, because he used to wear fake jewelry.
Yeah.
Right. And he was like, I don't need to wear real jewelry. I just
need you to believe that I got it.
But you know I have money, so you think it's real. So I just need you to believe it. But I spent $10 on these at Claire's.
Yeah. Yeah, but anyways, I saw that, and the first thing I wondered was like, why the fuck is this?
If I'm Kanye,
why is this a headline? Like,
I probably won't swipe my own credit card. I probably won't carry too much cash on me.
Nigga, also, what are you taking care of
before I get there?
What do you even need to like pay for though? Is this like, because generally speaking, like, because I can't imagine Kanye is going to go to fucking like Bojangles and they're going to be like, all right, that'll be $12.99. So it's like, no, niggas like be like, here,
or it's like
promote our shit,
free, or like you probably just have like Apple Pay or your credit card or your debit card or something like that. Yeah. But for the most part, if you're like that wealthy, usually things are planned ahead. So by the time you get there, it's already paid for.
Yeah,
that's what your assistant is for.
But the thing I thought when I saw that headline was just like, yo, they'll just do anything to have his name in a headline. Like, this has nothing to do with the fact that this is actually like a fascinating thing, or it's just rich people doing rich people shit. No, duh, he hasn't touched cash in a while. Who gives a shit? Like, what the fuck does this mean to anybody about anything, right? But it's just like, but just because it's Kanye West's name, it's like, oh my God, this is great. It's like, anyways.
People find any reason to like throw themselves into like someone else's life, especially if it's like a celebrity. Like, oh my God, Kim Kardashian just
anything she does, Kim Kardashian, she
photoed.
She was breathing today. Can you believe it? She air went in her nose and fucking circulated the oxygen circulated through her body, and then she like breathed out. Can you what?
And then now people are like, oh my god, like, now I have to be a dedicated nose breather.
Yeah.
Kim Kardashian. Yo, I was in CVS the other day. Yep. This was on Shark Tank. Yep. Brilliant idea. They have like these like little canisters of just like hyper oxygenated air. It's just like air, but it's like air like squared, you know, like a little bit extra air. You know what I mean? Okay. It's like a little bit crisper.
Sure.
they can it, and it's like, well, if you take the really good crisp air, you can it. Is it now? It's just now canned air, you know. But it was like, I think it was like
air squared.
I think it was like $7.99. I looked at the price. I think it was like $7.99 for can air.
Yeah,
and it's supposed to be like, oh, this air will improve your body's function, and it will
like, are they importing it from like some special places? Like, this has got the best air. They went to Denver.
No, not Denver. It's Austria. Somewhere Austria. We think of Oslo. Austria.
Is that what we think? Is that Austria's good air comes from Austria?
Austria's a very beautiful place.
I forget it being beautiful. What's the air quality?
I don't know. They have mountains and shit. And I think whenever there's mountains, the air that comes down is probably a little bit crisper.
Yeah, Addy says, Kim, Addy, you just need to call into the show, dude. You know what I mean?
Keep
like,
Addy on the line.
Yeah, we just need to get him.
Just mute and unmute yourself appropriately.
So he says Kim is the official chef. I'm sorry, chief taste consultant for vegan brand Beyond Meat. Oh shit!
Oh yeah. So she did a commercial for this company, Beyond Meat or whatever, right? And in the commercial, she didn't eat any of the food. She actually didn't eat any of the food in the commercial.
Yeah.
But
that sounds,
people are like calling her out because she was fake chewing food that she didn't eat. So in the commercial, she's like,
but why are people calling her out for that? It's all fake.
But she's
literally, the meat is fake.
But you still have to. It still has to taste good.
Who says who?
Says people who eat food.
No. Says who that she actually has to partake in whatever the fucking thing is that she's selling.
It's like if you don't drive, drive the car.
Get the entire fucking. I'm sorry. Does Brett Favre does he really give a fuck when he leaves the door? Am I wearing Wrangler jeans, or does he just take whatever fucking?
I think Brett Favre actually does wear Wrangler jeans.
That was a bad example. He actually does.
Matthew McConaughey actually drives.
Does he Lincoln? Does he actually fucking drive Lincolns? Let's call him up right now. Call Matthew McConaughey. You can't call him up. You know why? Because you have no fucking idea.
Matthew McConaughey actually drives.
How do you know this? How? From what source?
So when he started doing the commercials, and it's really interesting. So what's her name? Who's the woman who the cat? Regina King.
I don't know who the fuck. I know who Regina King is. I don't.
So part of the reason she is doing the commercials and she's like the ad person for Cadillac is because she actually drives a Cadillac. So she is now the creative director for Cadillac's marketing campaign.
What does this have to do with Matthew McConaughey?
Matthew McConaughey actually drives a Lincoln.
How do you actually know that?
Lincoln lawyer.
How do you actually know that?
Because
it's the Lincoln lawyer. Get the fuck. You're an idiot, dude.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it was him who, in that film, made the decision like it had to be a Lincoln, and which impacted like the name of the project. But the car had to be a Lincoln.
Look, I have no idea because I actually never.
So
watched
I watched his interview. He was like, I actually drive Lincolns. Like, it's my car of choice. It's my preference.
Him saying that I actually drive this while being the brand ambassador doesn't exactly instill confidence in me that he actually fucking.
But here's the thing, though. This was before he became the sponsor.
Because he was angling for the spot, nigga. Like, what do you? Are you going to tell your future employers like, nah, fuck your product?
This is before the Lincoln Lawyer film came out, right? And then this is 10. So Lincoln Lawyer came out 2010.
Whatever.
So
I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Dude. Okay.
No, I just proved you wrong.
How did you prove me wrong?
Because
nigga, you have said nothing.
I just gave you the timeline. Actually,
okay, we're gonna
look it up.
I don't want to fucking look it up. I don't, because that's a fucking waste of time. No, not at all. Because I'm going to waste time searching for this interview that Matthew McConaughey did for 20 years.
We're already off track.
Fucking podcast. That's what we're doing. All right. Well, okay. Okay.
The reason people are upset is you can't sell me a product, and on camera, you haven't even ate it.
Does 50 Cent drink a shit ton of vitamin waters?
Yes.
How do you know?
It's his flavor. He helped create the flavor. And you see in his early commercials before he sold it to Pepsi, like he would always have
in the commercial. So that leads you to believe
in the commercial, on tour, in his music videos.
How did you studied his tour videos and you're like, yo, this nigga really be drinking vitamin waters? Are you fucking kidding me?
So when 50 created vitamin water, bro, when 50 created I don't know why you don't accept this when it's been very well documented. Like there's proof.
Where?
Look it up. 50 created that flavor, right?
Yeah.
He liked
grape. What flavor?
Grape, the XXX flavor for vitamin water. Sure. He created that flavor because grape was his favorite flavir. So he was like, if I'm going to create this vitamin water thing, I want an exclusive flavor that's like very specific to me.
Yeah.
And so he was very much a part of like creating that flavor. And he would always drink it in his music videos, in his like
music video. Name one music video with 50 Cent drinking vitamin water. Name one.
In the club, Wanksta. I mean, if you want to look it up, sure.
First of all, he didn't own vitamin water at that point in time, at all. So
50 drinks his
Wait,
shit.
So you're saying in these videos that he somehow was drinking vitamin water, we all just missed it?
So I know for a fact, this is very well documented. Like nothing I'm saying here is crazy.
Okay.
Why? Better question. Why do you think that if these people endorse the product, that they don't believe
very
it
easy,
themselves?
very easy explanation. Because money. They don't actually, with the perfect example of Kim Kardashian, right? Like people call her out for everything because it's fucking Kim Kardashian, right? But it's also like shit that everybody does, right? Not everybody who's endorsing a product, like every fucking social media person who's endorsing whatever the fucking product that they're saying that they're trying to sell, doesn't mean that they're actually using the product. It's a pretty standard known thing that they're just putting their name behind it.
What I'm talking about is the product that someone actually created. Like 50 created vitamin water.
Okay. So then we're talking about two different things. Then I'm not talking about.
So why
like Kim Kardashian? Kim Kardashian didn't create fucking Beyond Meat.
But again, part of the reason why people would trust a brand or a product is if the person promoting it, in most cases, uses that product, right?
Sure. Yeah.
In 50's case,
that's
he created
but that's why
water,
people.
so
but that's why they like to create the illusion that they actually use the thing because they know that if they put their name behind it, that people are more likely than not to then use that product because they say this person uses it.
Why people are upset with Kim Kardashian is because she didn't even create the illusion that she was actually eating the food. It was very obviously fake that she wasn't eating the food. So if you're going to promote a product to me, I expect you eat even if it's
that's a child's perspective in that like. This multi just taking Kim Kardashian as an example.
The millions of people, and this is Beyond Meat they're taking the hit for this, right? Because they're a company in which like, hey, you guys made a commercial with a person endorsing your product.
Wait, okay, so you're telling me like when they go over to like Japan or wherever and they're selling products over there, you're telling me they're eating all that shit or they're actually using the products from Japan? No, like this is what a 5-year-old thinks.
You're missing the
point.
How
am I missing the point?
The point is, if you're going to sell me a product, at least make it look like you're using or eating the thing. Do not just straight up lie to me about it. I don't care if she actually eats Beyond Meat or not. What people are upset about.
But isn't that the case? Like when we're getting to the heart of it, isn't that the case?
No,
like,
listen.
Okay.
Let me finish.
Sure.
What people are upset about is the fact that the lie wasn't even, there was no smoke and mirrors behind the lie. It was just a straight up lie. You're straight up pretending to eat food, and then afterwards, after not eating, the food that she pretended to eat, she then said, "Tastes delicious." Get the fuck out of here. I think people are not great. I don't give a fuck, but it is a big thing. People are generally upset. Like, how dare you? You're offending my intelligence by pretending to eat meat and then telling me it's delicious when you didn't really eat it.
And that's fair. But my question is how intelligent are you if you think that even if she did sell you the lie, that it isn't still a lie? It's still a lie. Like,
or I mean, we don't know if she eats it or not. Do you think she? Do you think she does? I have
no fucking idea. But what my thing is that like, why would that like? For the people who it does affect in terms of like, oh, well, Kim Kardashian doesn't really eat Beyond Meat, so I'm mad at Beyond Meat because they've got this person who's endorsing their product, but she's not actually using their product. I'm confused by those people because what is in you that allows you to be so easily dissuaded? Like, because what you're essentially admitting at that point is that it's because Kim Kardashian eats this or does that, the fact that like I want to then do it. But in my own personal life, I don't think that's how I make decisions. It's like, well, fucking Michael Vick was wearing these shoes, so now I think I'm Michael Vick because I'm wearing these Nikes that he, these cleats that he had on. It's like, no, if I buy them, it's because they feel comfortable. It's because they're nice. It's not because Michael Vick. I'm talking about advertising. Period.
There's a reason why companies hire celebrities to do advertising.
I'm not disagreeing with you on that point. there are clearly people this affects, right? That they see the person using the thing, and also too, what I started to realize is that it's not even so much like you see an ad with the thing and then you're like, oh, I want to get that thing. It's just brand awareness, meaning that like, when people ask for like a soda, they're going to ask for a Coke, not because it's necessarily like they're like, I want a Coke, but because it's like, nigga, that's what a fucking soda is to me. You know what I mean?
Well, some people ask for Pepsi, right?
No, I know. What I'm saying is it's just sometimes it's more about brand awareness, meaning that the more times Coke is in front of your face, then it's just the default for you, right? Like it's why we call a copy of something like a piece of paper is like why we call it Xerox instead of just being like, oh, this is like
it's this simple. What if Lady Gaga is doing a Coke commercial?
Sure.
And in the commercial, if like you see her drink the Coke and spit it out, you're gonna be like, you didn't actually drink the thing. Why are you trying to advertise the product to me if you didn't actually drink the thing? So people are upset. I don't think people really care if she actually eats Beyond Meat or not. But if you're going to do the commercial and in the commercial you're telling me to buy the product, at least sell it to me. At least make it look like you're using the product.
But why? Like but it's all a lie. Like I guess that's why
you are missing the point.
How am I missing the point?
There is a difference. Whether it's a lie or not, there is a difference between a blatant lie and at least
it's still a lie.
Tunde.
Yeah.
You cannot. Come on. There is a difference. It's a commercial. It's advertising, right?
Yeah, for sure.
At least make a good enough ad that doesn't like offend people's sensibilities. Do not pretend to eat meat in a commercial and then immediately after fake chewing, tell me it was delicious. You're blatantly lying to me. That's what people are upset at. I don't think people really care if she eats the meat or not. Just don't blatantly lie to my face.
All right, fair enough.
There's no way you don't understand this.
No. It's not that I don't understand it. It's that I just don't agree with it, right? Like I don't agree with because it's a commercial. So whatever the fuck they're selling in the commercial, it's a fucking commercial. Like they're selling you a lie, right? So why fret over like, well, you didn't make that lie believable, so I'm mad. It's like, but you know it's a lie in the first place. So why the fuck are you upset? Like, what is it? What does it actually fucking matter?
Yeah, listen,
like,
I don't care. I do think it's stupid. I do think.
So we're in agreement. Yeah. No, I haven't seen it.
So if you watch the commercial, you're gonna be like, okay, that was very just. They could have easily said, hey, even if she doesn't eat it, hey, like for the commercial, we're paying you $100,000 to do this commercial. We at least need you to eat the product in the commercial. Or they should have been smart enough to say, all right, do not use certain language in the commercial because, like, if you're not actually going to eat the food, maybe not do the fake chew thing. Just show the product.
Whatever.
I feel like I don't care, but for the people who are like, hey, this is stupid and offensive in some way, I understand where they're coming from.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, so in talking about Kanye and Kim, Pete Davidson, among others, are leaving SNL, which is like, it's like an end of an era for an SNL. Dude, after this sort of iteration of SNL, I officially know nothing about anybody on SNL, like, because I barely even knew about like the whole Pete Davidson era. Like, I barely kind of knew that. I actually knew Pete Davidson from Guy Code. I think he was on. I'm pretty sure he was on Guy Code. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was on Guy Code. That's where I knew him from. I didn't really even know him from SNL at first. But like now, Kate McKinnon, she's out of there. Kyle Mooney, I'm sure a lot less people know him. Adie Bryan, I knew her. But these are like been like the stalwarts of, at least somewhat stalwarts. I guess in these later years they've been kind of making less and less appearances. But after this, dude, SNL is, not to say I ever really watched SNL because I really didn't.
I've never in my life watched.
Oh, come on! Back
I've seen
when
clips and skits.
Back when
I was watching Mad TV, not SNL.
I mean, I watched Mad TV too. I liked kind of how they always used to go head to head. But like back when what's his name, Will Ferrell and all them were on there. Nah, I fuck with SNL for sure. Like
I've never seen a full episode of SNL.
That's crazy, yeah.
But I mean, I know that for some people this is like a big thing.
Yeah.
A lot of talent leaving the show. Yeah. But I feel like that's what SNL is. It is it's a talent pool. And then
for sure.
I feel like the goal, if I'm a producer at SNL, do I want someone to stay around for a while? Absolutely. But the goal of it should be
to turn over
5, 7, 10 years. Maybe you do SNL.
Yeah.
10 years is a lot.
I think Pete did it for like 8.
Yeah. Perfect. Hey, you did 8 years of SNL. Maybe you come back occasionally and do some stuff with us. We'd love to have you back. But like, go be great But also, there's a lot to be said from like the amount of talent that has been created
100%.
out of SNL.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, let Pete Davidson go and do his own thing. Bring in new talent. Keep the show fresh and creative.
Yeah, I'm not saying that they shouldn't do that. What I'm saying is that like at least for years, because I wouldn't really watch it. I would just kind of, just like you were saying, catching clips and stuff like that online. But at least some of the people I can be like, oh, this person's like, I recognize this person. Now it's literally nobody on the show, because I usually, like with SNL, I know like when I was a lot younger, like approaching I guess my teenage years, I could tell you like maybe like half the cast, like, oh yeah, like I recognize this person, recognize that person, like they had, just like you said, they had like big names, that have come through SNL.
But really, it's just a matter of time. Like we don't know them now, but I'm sure the people who are like once Pete Davidson and
not really, because A.D. Bryant, Kyle Mooney, do you know them?
No.
Exactly. So like I guess that's one of my point is like over the years it becomes less and less frequent that
because Jay Farrell's still doing SNL, and then who's
no, I don't think he's there anymore.
Who's that one? The black comedian?
Michael Shea.
Michael Shea.
Yeah, he does Weekend Update. I think he's still doing Weekend Update.
Mm-hmm. There's a guy who does. He always impersonates Stephen A. Smith. I forget his name.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
More and more. So we don't know them now, but I feel like SNL has a history and a track record of producing talent. So someone is going to, when Pete Davidson steps aside.
I mean, I don't think he really even has been in the show like that over the past. Like,
he's been doing a lot of movies and other.
So I think
So he's been busy, but I feel like got a person like Michael Shea and like other talent, they're gonna be able to then elevate those people.
Nah, Michael Shea's probably gonna be gone soon. He's been there for a minute too.
He's been there for a minute. He's great. And listen, like next man up, right? It's like a football team.
No. I guess that's what I'm saying is like, we're not saying different things. Like I'm not saying that there aren't going to be people that replace him. I'm just saying my knowledge of who these people are is now non-existent, and nor do I care. Like I don't go out of my way to like watch SNL clips or like watch SNL shit. So it's like I wouldn't really even like know them. But like before, it was just like, okay, at least I can. Kate McKinnon, I know her. Back when who's the woman from Bridesmaids?
Kristen Wiig.
Yep. Kristen Wiig. You're like, okay, like I know Kristen Wiig. Yada yada. Now it's just like nobody. Do I like if I turned on SNL right now, I'd be like, I have not one goddamn.
Yeah, if I turn on SNL, I'd probably recognize like 3 people, but I don't know them. They're not like household names.
Yeah, and honestly, their ability to make household names has diminished over the course of time. True. You know what I mean? Like it used to be like their entire cast would be like, okay, yo, all of you guys are gonna pop. Now it's just like, all right, it's a couple of you niggas that's gonna make it. Yeah. But anyways, so in other news,
they're like the Dallas Cowboys. Like they used to be great.
Yeah.
They got Zeke. They got Dak.
They're okay. Maybe they'll make the playoffs. I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe,
in other news, so Warner Brothers basically, I guess they combine powers with Discovery, and so that the new boss from Discovery basically has come through. He's cleaned house. I don't know if we talked about it on the podcast. Maybe we didn't. But CNN Plus. Basically, they cut the axe on that after like a month of this. Oh my god, they talked it up.
CNN Plus.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like sort of like.
I want more bad news. The fuck?
Apparently, nobody else wanted that either because they cut that shit immediately.
Minus the bullshit. I will sign up for that. Hey, like this network is dedicated to true information, real reporting, real journalism, none of the bullshit, none of the political agenda. I'll sign up for CNN Minus. Plus, I don't want more
CNN Minus,
more lies. That's all you really get. You pay $5.99 a month for more lies.
So CNN Plus got axed after about like a month, right? And it was like this whole big thing because it was supposed to be like their flagship, and this is gonna change like the news industry and yada yada. And then they literally just got rid of it. So he apparently this dude was he was asking about Clint Eastwood's movie because basically, I guess they're going through like the list of movies and shit like that they're gonna make, and then they got to Clint Eastwood's new joint, and they were like, yeah, we pretty much know that this movie's not going to return like money. And then the dude is like, well, why the fuck are we making it then? And then everybody's like, well, it's Clint Eastwood. Like, he's done us so many solids over the course of years. We're just trying to, and he's like, Yeah, no, nigga, that's not how
Whoever
this is gonna work.
I like them. Yeah. Like, yo,
I do and I don't. Here's the thing: there are a lot of people out there, and I'll just go ahead and say it up bluntly. Like, I listen to John Campea. He's another movie critic, or I don't even know, commentator, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. So they are like, they love this new dude. Oh my god, he's coming in there and he's making all these right decisions. But the problem is, I'm looking at the product that dude got famous making, which is Discovery shit. Discovery shit sucks. Let's just it's people consume it. Discovery. So basically like all the fucking TLC shows. All of the
Food Network is
under Food Network, umbrella, all that shit, right?
Food Network, Travel Channel.
Exactly.
All that.
So no, hold on. Follow me.
I'm listening.
So what I'm saying by it sucks is that there's nothing new there. It's just the same shit repackaged in like a different uniform, right? Like, so they're all the shows on fucking Food Network. Them and HGTV, they're the same channel, except for one's about home shit and then the other's about cooking shit. It's the same shows, the same shit.
I gotta admit, I think Food Network might be one of the best networks on television. They managed to create some of the best, like, new. Now, granted, they are fueling global food waste. Like,
wait, how are they fueling global food
so
waste?
in the United States, I think it's like 30 to 40% of the food we consume is wasted.
Sure.
Mostly by the restaurant industry, but also by TV shows, like, you know, all these TV shows that, like, especially the gimmicky ones. Like,
wait, there's like 12 TV shows. How is that
food
contributing to like the?
Bro, there's 20 on Netflix alone, and then you got Hulu, then you got all the other networks.
But what I'm saying is that I'm sure pales in comparison to the actual fucking restaurants just chucking food out of the door.
But I imagine, so let's say there are like 200 different cooking shows on TV, and all these cooking shows, a lot of the food that they use on the show goes to waste afterwards. And it's not just the food that they prepare and the chefs eat. Gordon Ramsay takes one bite. He's like, it's fucking rubbish. It's trash. And it gets thrown away. No one eats it afterwards. It gets thrown away. So there's a lot of food waste that is generated by the TV, film, and movie industry. That's an unfortunate reality of the situation.
That's fair.
But the Food Network, in my opinion, like, some of my favorite shows are on the Food Network.
Of course. I don't know why. Still to this day, I love watching diners, drive-ins, and dives, right? Mm-hmm. But the problem... wait, hold on. We got Addy coming with the facts. He said, "I agree with Rain. I am not going back to beef." Maybe that was a text earlier. Hold on. The one he just said just now is 108 billion waste. 40% of all U.S. food comes from what? Not from fucking the Food Network.
It's a combination of many things. Mostly the restaurant industry.
Yeah, fair enough.
And grocery and like the food distribution grocery store industry.
Yeah, that wasn't even what my point was. My point was.
Bro, I'll be dropping facts on this show.
Hey,
Thank you, Addy.
Yeah, fair enough. What my point is that we're not getting variety. There, like, if you watch the Food Network, if you watch HGTV, TLC, you're not getting a variety of product. You're basically just getting the same product repackaged into something else, right?
Yeah.
And when it comes to him coming into Warner Brothers and making all these cuts and doing all these things, I feel like at the beginning it's going to feel good because it's like, okay, well, yeah, there's a lot of fuck shit going on.
You got to shake up a few.
Exactly. But
shake a few trees. Is that the analogy? Something like that. I don't know why we're shaking trees. But.
Yeah. Well, you brought it up, so you tell me.
That's a TV show probably on Travel Channel.
Shake up the trees. But the problem that I foresee is that he's going to make all these cuts, and then the things that he's going to replace it with is just cookie cutter shit. Because that's basically how he built, or I guess how they built up. I don't know who the fuck built it up, but how they built up this whole Discovery sort of network situation is by basically rinsing and repeating the same exact process with every fucking show that you have. And there's just so many of them, and they're all the same exact fucking thing, no matter what channel you flip to. So it's like, while I do think it's like commendable to be like, yo, we're not cutting anybody any fucking favors here. I don't give a fuck if it's Clint Eastwood or whoever the fuck else. If the movie's not going to make money, then like, why the fuck are we talking about it? Although sometimes you got to take a chance on a movie, even though you know it's not going to be profitable, especially if you feel passionate about it. Now, 9,000-year-old Clint Eastwood making a movie, yeah, maybe let's pass on that. I don't know. He's had his time, I guess, maybe, right? But some up-and-coming person who's like, they just need an opportunity and, hey, just, you might not make the money back on this. sometimes you just take a flyer. Who knows, right?
Yeah, I feel like don't green light Clint Eastwood's next movie. Just give him a show on the History Network. That's where he belongs. He was there through it all. He saw.
Yeah,
all
he
of
literally saw all of it.
He dinosaurs.
I don't care what it was.
We were talking about dinosaurs earlier.
Yeah, he was there with them.
Yeah, he was there. So I don't know. I like what I've heard so far from like what this new executive at it's CNN, right, is doing.
No. He comes from Discovery, but he's basically with Warner Brothers and Discovery joining forces.
Gotcha.
He's essentially the person leading them.
It sounds like what he's doing is cleaning up the bullshit. Like, let's stop doing the things we don't need to do.
David Zaslav, I believe is his name.
Zaslav. Okay.
Yeah.
If I was his wife, I wonder if his wife took his last name. It's like, do I want this? Do I want
I don't know.
Anyway, it seems like what he's doing is cleaning up or getting rid of trash. Like we're doing things that we don't need to do, and like let's stop doing those things.
Yeah.
We don't right now. We don't need to do anything new. We just need to stop doing stupid shit. Right? Let's improve the quality of the content that we have.
No. He's literally yanking content. So it's like he's cleaning house.
Exactly. If it's content where it's like this is not really like valuable, this is not meaningful, we're not making any money from this. But that's what's got me worried is that at the end of the day, it's just going to be a profits thing, not a like this is a thing that is a good project. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like what I hope happens is they eliminate wasteful, useless content and they elevate like, hey, let's take what we have and
that's
do it
the
better,
part of it that I don't
then
think
we'll create new shit.
Because think about Discovery, right? Like think about all these shows. That's not what they do. They don't like it's not like they make better product, right? It's just they just take the same product and just like here's another cooking show that they're gonna do some cooking competition that kids they're competing to the best Halloween candy or whatever the fuck it is, right? Like it's not different shit. It's just the same shit. So that's what I'm saying is like, I don't think necessarily think it's going to go in that direction of let's make better content so much as let's make profitable content. Yeah. And I think that's what scares me a bit.
I'm pretty sure it was, I'm an Adidas lover. So like, I'm pretty sure it was either Adidas or maybe even Puma. There was like a new director of like footwear who came in and pretty much made the decision. Like they were like, we make 200 different pairs of shoes, different styles, completely different styles.
Yeah.
What the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
Who has 200 different styles? Like, let's focus on making our top 75 pairs, right? We have 75 different pairs of styles, and we'll just make those better quality materials, better colorways, new fun like design collaborations, things like that. Let's focus on 50 to 75 of our best shit, and we're gonna stop making the other 125 bullshit.
Yeah. And
sales went up. The quality of the product went up, designs went up, collaborations went up. Everything got better after that. That's what I'm hoping. And then it's like, okay, then we can start to introduce like newer styles once we perfect what we're doing first.
Yeah.
I hope that is what's happening here.
Yeah, I would say based on the track record, I don't see that being the case because I think what they're trying to do is just use the playbook, the same playbook that they use with Discovery, they're going to use with Warner. But I think it's a completely different thing when you're talking about just like reality TV shows about fucking cooking and fucking travel and shit than when you're talking about just like,
with the
creative
Food Network,
shit.
They've got Gordon Ramsay, so it's like, yo, just give him a new show. Like Gordon Ramsay.
Is he a part of the Food Network? I don't know.
Cooking while driving. Is it?
I'm pretty sure
he
he's
has like so many new shows. Like on HBO, I started watching Next Level Chef, right? And it's like, it's insane. But it's actually...
Oh, God. Have they already started to put like the cooking shows on like HBO now?
No, so this is on Netflix.
On Netflix,
which has
I'm sorry.
a shit ton of cooking shows.
Yeah.
I fucking love them.
Yeah.
So Next Level Chef, right?
Yeah.
There are these 3 chefs, and the whole concept behind it is like, as a chef, you have to work your way up from like the bottom kitchen level to like, mid-level chef to like executive chef. Get your fucking Michelin star or whatever. So on the show, there these chefs in this like tower. It's kind of like a fucking car, the Carvana car tower, car lot, right? And then they have this like conveyor belt thing that goes from the top level all the way down. So the people at the top level, they get the first pick of all the fresh ingredients, right? And then it goes down to the next level and you get like second pick.
Yeah.
You don't get the veal, but you do get like the burger meat.
Have you ever eaten veal? I've never eaten veal.
Yeah, veal's delicious.
It's just like a baby cow, right?
Yeah, like a venison. I think veal. One is a baby cow. The other is a baby like like fucking calf, which is a cow.
Neither is beyond.
Baby goat. There's venison. There's veal.
Yeah.
Right. I forget what but very good. Anyway. So by the time the conveyor belt thing gets to the bottom, if you're like the bottom level chef, like the meat is gone or the good protein is gone, like the steak and the venison and the veal and the lobster meat. So you might just have like, all right, we got a fucking pork tenderloin and we've got like, duck. And I got to make a meal with this. And the better they do, then they go up to the next. It's a great cooking show. I'm like, how the fuck do they come up with this? Just give Gordon Ramsay, as long as you put his name on it. Yeah. If it were anybody else, it's fucking stupid. Gordon Ramsay.
Screen like that. But yeah, so like I hear you in terms of like, it's good to make cuts, and I think you made a great example where you're talking about the Adidas thing. But I think they're different. They're different mind frames,
they're different products.
Like, yeah. So like, I feel like it's good at the onset to like make cuts and like, okay, things can get wasteful and people can get too chummy with each other. So just do each other's favors. It's like, all right, I'm gonna greenlight this next Clint Eastwood movie. Not because it's particularly good, but just because, his dad played golf with my dad. And then, fucking, I gotta do that. Otherwise at Thanksgiving, I'm going to hear about it. And it's just like
the name at this point, Clint Eastwood. I mean,
I'm not even sure if he knows his own name, but I'm joking. I'm joking. Clint.
Yeah, I mean, but you actually might be right.
So, anyways,
they just drive him to the movie set. He's like,
"This is my movie, guys."
He just points the gun at someone, and they're just like,
"What?"
And then
Clint,
roll the credits.
Clint, I drove you to the theater. Why are you sticking me?
But we got it on film either way. Put it in the movie, and it's his own driver. Like, sir, I work for you. He's like, I don't know who's who. Put him up.
But anyways, so yeah, that was that. Dude, let's do we want to talk about some things that we're watching? I feel like we're rolling right now, in that we're just randomly stream of conscious talking about some random shit. What did we watch? What have you watched recently?
Recently, so obviously I'm watching. I finished the Ozarks recently, which was like bittersweet, and then I watched the behind the scenes, all the magic that went into making the Ozarks, which was just like, it was great to see all. Hold on,
I gotta pause you there. Look, Addy, goddamn it,
what did he say?
So he was talking about veal. He said veal is a baby cow chained to the floor and not being allowed to stand or move. It
delicious.
Makes the new meat softer. Jesus Christ.
Kim Kardashian somewhere like,
you're a monster.
Delicious.
I like if somebody said that to me, I'm not gonna be like delicious afterwards. I'm like, yeah, that sounds fucking crazy.
I have a very, very dark sense of humor.
You really do, yeah.
It's not a joke either. It's how I truly feel.
Yeah, I don't eat veal. So
if I saw that baby cow chained to the floor, I'd be like, when will it be ready?
Jesus. All right, okay. Moving on.
How long will it take?
Let's talk about Ozark, which is what the fuck you were talking. You were beginning
rare is how I take
your veal
baby cow.
Yikes. Okay. Ozark is what you were saying before.
Yeah. So watching the behind the scenes special, the making of Ozarks, it's great because you really got the chance to like hear from the actors and actresses.
Oh yeah, I saw that. They put it on YouTube, right? Or was it on?
No, it's on
Netflix.
Netflix.
Yeah. Okay, all right, yeah.
So once you finish the season, like the next immediate thing that they suggest you watch is that.
Yeah.
We watched it. It was great. Just hearing from Julia Garner of how she came into, like how she shaped.
So you just finished it. So now we can talk about it.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah. What are we doing? Let's do it. You know what I mean? Where to start?
Exactly. It's not that I'm lost for words. I have many words. I just don't know where to start.
Oh, fam, let's get into this.
I think I want to start with the characters, but you can go first. I have thoughts on.
Oh, I got plenty of thoughts. Yeah. My first and most striking one is that I absolutely love the people who say they hate the ending. Fuck you. And I rarely say that because it's all a matter of opinion.
Hate the ending of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, no, but the Game of Thrones I can sort of understand because I'm not gonna lie. Even I was like, we got to the end. I was like, okay, so wait, none of that shit mattered. Like, the fact that Jon was, spoiler alert, I guess for anybody who hasn't watched Game of Thrones, but the fact that Jon was fucking what's it called, a Targaryen. Mm-hmm. The fact that they waited for this fucking war with the White Walkers.
Yeah.
Details begin to escape you after a while. It's been I can't. I'm like, White Walkers.
Are we talking
does
about
that sound right?
Walking? Just walking down the street or like White Walker?
So like I can sort of understand This, absolutely not. This was
great.
Like, perfect
what
fucking
was
ending.
Wrong with the ending?
Perfect ending.
But it really just comes down to the fact that people just do not like when things end. Something it ends. Like, all endings are bad because you're not going to be able to get more of it.
Oh, but here's the thing though, is that the reason why this one is particularly interesting is because the show that you can kind of correlate directly with Ozark is the natural predecessor, Breaking Bad, right? And so weirdly enough, everybody loves the fucking ending of Breaking Bad. I think you've even stated that you love that ending for Breaking Bad. I don't. I didn't care for the ending of Breaking Bad, and so in trying to like sort of compare the two shows of like why I would love the Ozark's ending but kind of hate Breaking Bad, is that Breaking Bad felt like it copped out. It felt like they built this entire show on Walter White is a fucking monster. And it's argument to say whether he was always a monster or whether that was just revealed based on him sort of sinking deeper into this world. But they built a monster just to have him at the end be like, nah, I'm not really that much of a monster. I'm all right. You know, like basically trying to repent for all the shit that he did. In the Ozarks, they just lean into it like, no, they're the worst, and they just stay the worst.
Yeah, but I feel like even that, like you see Marty trying to get out. Marty's like trying, like,
nah,
he's like
bullshit.
No, I feel like genuinely Marty's like he understands the nature of what he does. Like, hey, like I work with bad people, I do bad things.
Yeah,
does that make me a bad person? Yes, but you have a choice. You can be all the way bad, or you can say, you know what, I'm going to preserve some humanity.
No, but you see. Nah,
like Wendy was like, "Yo, if we have to be all the way bad to like get what we want, then we're going to be all the way bad."
Well,
and Marty's like, "We don't have to kill people. We don't need to kill. We don't need." Wendy sent what's the guy? The
hitter,
driver, the hitter to like threaten
Ruth's the partner.
Yeah, and like Marty's like you don't have to do things like that. Like we can find other ways.
And then Marty went down to Mexico and then had somebody killed. So,
but Marty didn't have him killed. It was
Marty definitely had him killed. What are you talking about?
100% had him killed. In the basement, right? Yeah. So
100% had him killed. What the fuck?
But like you saw his like the moral.
The justification for it is a different thing on actually doing the thing. But what I would even argue with Marty is that okay, let me take your argument into consideration to say, okay, well, you know what, the morality of it, right? Then what the fuck does that say of Marty that he can be with Wendy? Like, what does that say of you if you're like, oh, I'm so moral, I'm so this or that? She's a fucking monster out here just like getting people killed left and right, and you're like, I mean, I still love her though. Like, what the fuck? Like, no, you can't have it both ways. You know what I mean? You can't be the good guy and also just watch the bad people be horrific and be like,
yeah,
what are you gonna do? You know,
but in the real world, it's so easy to say that. But no, we're not all good or all like just no. I'm a good person, but I'm not.
We're not
all good.
But I'm also not trying to say that. I'm trying to say that Marty needs to stop lying to himself about who he really is, because as long as he can hold that sort of like, oh well, I don't want all this. You know, he can hold that plausible deniability of like, well, I'm not the monster, but meanwhile he's either standing by and watching horrible shit happen, or he's actually instigating it himself, but he has enough removal from it where he can be like, well, I didn't exactly do that, so that doesn't make me a monster.
I feel like people find their, like, let's say you do something bad, you work for a bad company, you work for bad people or whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like you do whatever you can do to retain your whatever humanity you have left, whether you have to lie to yourself about it, whether you can be honest and say, hey, I'm a bad person, I'm going to do bad things, but on Wednesdays I won't do bad things. Like, whatever you have to do to like preserve your humanity, I think that's what Marty was trying to do. It wasn't perfect. And he did have to lie to himself sometimes and lie to other people. A lot of people got hurt. But I feel like his character was like, I'm trying not to be this monster. And at a certain point, I feel like Wendy was like, I will be the monster if I have to be. And I kind of like it.
Yeah, I guess but that's what my point is that if they weren't in a relationship, I feel like I would more wholly agree with what you're saying, and that Marty's trying to hold on some shred of, I guess, his humanity, or I guess he's just trying not to be the bad guy, right? But he does that to a fault, where it's just like he'll make bad decisions because he's trying not to appear as the bad guy, even though he should do something else completely to get him out of the situation. So therefore, I'm not making it worse, but he'll go through great lengths to not be the bad guy and make things even worse by trying to do that. But the fact that he's with Wendy is what I'm saying is a part of the show, that the show's so fucking cool in that it shows you sort of like this, not even a descent, but like reveal of like, this is how we look at like all these rich people who've made all their fortunes and shit like that. But if you look at their like beginnings, not necessarily of them, but maybe with their, you know, if they've had money in their family, it's all fucking dirty, dude. Like, it's all fucking dirty. They've had to do horrible fucking shit. If you're politicians, you've had to do horrible shit to try to get to where you're.
And that's what Wendy said. Like, even like the people that you like, the guy who was
her line at the end was fire, dude. Where he was like the dude was like, oh, you guys just don't get away with it. And she was like, since when?
Yeah, because
fire.
So many people do.
Yeah.
Like, who was the guy in the show who was like the governor or like the senator in the show?
Oh yeah. The dude that she was basically like, he could kick rocks.
Yeah. And it's like he looks like a good person because he's a senator and it's a prominent position and you're supposed to be good, right? That motherfucker was just as dirty as everybody else.
Yeah.
So I think Wendy's position is just like, yo, like, you know what? Yeah, I'm doing bad things, but so is everybody else.
Yeah.
And like, if they're gonna win, I want to win too.
Well, and also they kept lying to themselves, like, "Oh, we'll do good once we get to the place where
we'll
do this foundation,
we'll open up foundations and clinics."
Which is how everybody like that sort of reasons away the horrible shit that they do. Is that, oh well, we do some good, but this is what gets back to the whole Marty thing. Is that you can like, and I love the scene where basically Marty was basically trying to save Ruth by like, yo, Ruth, go home. Don't do this, you know?
Yeah.
And he was a good guy, but then he was just like out fucking shopping for houses and shit with like with Wendy, and it's like, okay, so you guys
it's a buyer's market.
So you guys can do all the dark shit, crazy shit to get to where you're gonna go, but when I want to do some dark shit, it's like, oh my god, no, don't do it, you know, save yourself. And it's just like, but you're smiling on your face, going with your realtor, and it just showed how like they were just gonna get away with it, but it's just like, no, that's not for you though, you know,
But at the same time, Ruth has done some bad shit too, right?
Nah,
like,
she didn't do anything that bad.
But she's not all good either. Like,
no, she's not all good. She killed her the dad and her uncle or some shit like that.
She's the one who like rigged the thing to kill her two uncles.
100%. But this was cold blood.
She sells drugs too. Like,
yeah, this was cold blood. She
who's
what
Ben?
No, the Javi, when she killed Javi.
Yeah.
And spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't watched it. But
I think what Marty was trying to do.
10 seconds on how Javi just came in and was like, hey guys.
Yeah.
Pop.
What an ending for your story.
Yo,
right?
You've been in there a season and a half. You're like, guys, I think I'm gonna make it to the end. It's just like,
and the thing about
you're not even gonna make it past the episode.
Is he was so arrogant that he didn't even see it coming.
Exactly.
He thought of himself as untouchable.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm gonna walk into this deal and I'm gonna force these people, this like billionaire head of this huge organization company, and I'm gonna force them to fold and to get down on a knee for me. 3 to the chest. That's literally all it took. 3 bullets and your
doesn't take much more than that. It doesn't take much more than that.
So it's like you could be as big as you want to be in your head, and I think that's what Javi's character was. He was arrogant. He was bashful. He didn't operate in the way that Navarro would have. Right?
No, definitely not, because he just killed people like left and right, and ultimately that was his undoing, right? Because if he never kills Snell, or at least if he just kills Snell, but doesn't kill what's her cousin's name?
Fucking Wyatt.
If he doesn't kill Wyatt, then pretty much all good. Like,
and I feel like Wyatt would have. He probably would have wanted to like tell and snitch, but I feel like Ruth would have gotten Wyatt in line and be like, "Hey, like you can't say."
He definitely would have snitched, but nobody would have cared. Everybody would have been like, "Nigga, shut up."
Probably. And it's like you snitched on the Mexican cartel.
Yeah, like, not wise.
Or
I'm good.
Even if it's true.
Yeah.
If I'm the police chief.
Yeah.
And you come to me and you say, "I just witnessed a murder of like the person who's the head of the Mexican cartel," I'm gonna be like, "I'm on lunch." Like, I didn't hear what you just said.
I'm on lunch.
In fact, I'm going to put in a PTO request now so that I wasn't here when this
have not
started.
Finished my turkey club, so I'm going to need you to give me some time.
Yeah. I'm gonna give me a day, and then next day she's gonna come back. And, where's Officer Rain? And
he quit.
He left the force.
Early retired.
Do not give me this kind of news.
Yeah. But and also that actually we were joking about it, but like that actually calls like good people or people doing bad shit for what they think are good reasons, and then also going down the line of people who just don't want to fucking rile things up. So that shit is some real talk where you were just talking about in terms of like, yo, I didn't fucking hear that, you know? It's because it's like, yo, fam, like you see how easily they just kill people and just fucking, and so when you think about actual like really in life, that's how shit fucking happens. Is that and it doesn't even need to be as dark as like they're just going to kill your whole family, but just even having somebody just ruin your career because it's like you dare to speak out. That's what the whole, well, at least theoretically, that's what the whole Me Too thing is supposed to be, right? Is that people being able to speak out without just, intense fear of, I'm just never going to have a career because I chose to tell the fucking truth,
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what the show just really, it the thing that they did best out of anything else was put people in scenarios that there was no easy out. There isn't an easy, because if you do X, you're going to get Y, and like, and if you do this, you're going to get that, and so it wasn't just like a simple cookie cutter, like making just horrible decisions. Yeah, we can look at Wendy and be like, yo, she's a monster. She does crazy things, but even look at her with her brother, right? And she winds up admitting like, yo, he didn't even have to be here. I'm the one who wanted to hear just to spite Marty.
Yeah.
But when it push come to shove, she was like, yo, I really was trying to get him the fuck out of here. When she realized it just wasn't tenable.
And to be honest, at a point, like she is the reason he stayed. And she did put him in danger. She did try to get him out, but I don't blame her for the tough decision.
No, I do because of what she ultimately said, which was it was her fault to begin with, right?
Yes,
like she put him in this scenario.
I do feel like I kind of give her some credit for saying, hey, like I'm the reason you're here. Like you tried to leave. Marty told me to let you leave because this is not the place for you to be based off of your condition. She asked him to stay. In the final hour, she tried to save him, but Ben did not want to say, and again, he had a condition which compromised, like, his mental state, right?
Oh, and masterful performance. I don't know what the guy's name is, man. But that taxi ride,
I gotta figure out,
or that Uber ride or whatever, dude. That, like, if you're talking about somebody who has some, like, mental health issues, that was just fucking incredible to watch, man, because it was just like, yeah, that's pretty much how it would fucking be. Somebody's just losing their fucking mind, like,
in my opinion, two of the best moments of the entire show. And so that actor, where the fuck is he? I'm on IMDb right now. Damn, he should be like pretty much at the front of the list. Anyway, so that actor, and his name is Tom Pelfrey, who played Ben Davis. Two of the best, just purely, just incredible masterclass acting scenes in the show where it was a cab ride. This is when he left the mental institution, when Ruth helped get him out.
Yeah.
That cab ride and that monologue where he just went on for like 4 or 5 minutes straight. Man. Beautiful. And when, I think, who was the driver, the hitter? Remember when he picked, so his name was Nelson.
Yeah.
And shit, his real name in real life is Nelson Bonilla.
Nah.
So when Nelson picked up Ben from the restaurant, and he was pretty much driving Ben to go and kill him.
Yeah.
Same thing, that like 4 minutes straight of just that dialogue where Ben is just like, he's like talking himself through what's going on, and he's talking through his emotions, and do you think Wendy would be proud of me? And I think she is proud of me. And like, yeah, am I doing the right thing? Yeah, I'm doing the right thing. And like that, just that performance, in my opinion, those are
incredible.
Yeah. And I would give it, I love Jason Bateman. I think
well, to be fair, I don't think it requires that much to play Marty Bird, like, because he's the most emotionless person I think I've ever seen.
And I feel like Jason Bateman is.
No, he watching him in person, like, or not in person, but like Jason Bateman's like, he's like, he can pull this off because it's like a more serious role, but he's kind of a cut up.
Did you see when he won I think he won like an Academy Award for like best actor or best director or something like that for Ozarks.
Yeah.
And you see the footage of when he won, he was just like, okay. this is what we're doing.
Classic Marty.
And like very much, and you know how Marty talks. Like, yep, okay, this we'll find a way. We'll figure it out. We will do it.
I always love when the best thing Marty ever says is the fuck you won't. Like it's like when somebody does something wild, he's like, the fuck you won't. It's
funny,
he delivers the line perfectly.
I have an old boss who was just like Marty in terms of like his like speech pattern, right? He would always say everything in threes. Like whenever you ask him a question, he'd be like, hey, I think we should do this. I think we should do X, Y, and Z in order to like, get this thing done. He'd always be like, yep, yep, yeah, yep. That's okay. Yep. That makes sense. That's what we'll do. It's like, how many times are you going to confirm this? But and that's kind of how Marty's character was. So I love Jason Bateman for playing this character because I feel like a lot of it was him. Yeah. But he also made Marty Bird feel very real. Yeah. Laura Linney, Wendy Bird,
masterful,
incredible performance here.
Yeah. Everybody, top to bottom.
Yeah, everybody. Top to the bottom. There's no one in the show who I feel like, oh, this person was like lacking, except for the sheriff in this last season.
The dude,
the new sheriff guy.
Oh, he was okay, but he reminded me of somebody who like would be from like the Ozarks or some shit like that. Who would
whenever he was on screen, like his interactions with Ruth,
is a little over the top.
I felt very much like these are two people acting in a scene.
Fair enough. Yeah, I can get.
But again, he was only in like 2 episodes, like 15 minutes. So
it is what it is. Yeah. So let's kind of parse this out between two things. Let's talk about the ending and kind of what our views of the ending. But then also I wanted to talk about there's like with the Ozarks, you get like I said, like the dichotomy between that and Breaking Bad. But there were some issues that I took, even though I liked the ending, really liked the ending, borderline kind of like loved the ending. There were some issues that I took with how they got there, and that's one thing that I again like that felt weird about the Breaking Bad to me is that it felt like the Breaking Bad took a sharp turn. It felt like what's his name? Bryan Cranston's character, Walter. It felt like Walter. Terrible. Then all of a sudden he's like, you know what? I don't like being terrible. And it's just like, and then the whole thing kind of like shifts, at least from what I can remember. It's been a while since I watched the whole series. But with the thing that I've loved about the Ozarks is it feels like there's always felt like a natural progression. And it felt like that with the exception of two things. And so, fuck it, let's just talk about that now while it's still fresh in my brain. I really hated how they did Ruth's character in terms of the motivations for the things that she did. And the thing specifically that I took exception with was when she essentially got her record clean, it was just like, so the first thing you do after that is then take over a casino that the fucking cartel has their hands in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What planet does that make any sense?
And then you transfer the accounts to like onshore accounts,
so they're gonna come looking for you.
Money.
Like,
so
come on.
I feel like what Ruth was doing in that sense was like, I think she thought that Marty was gonna be able to protect her. Because remember when Marty confronted her about it in front of the casino, she was like, figure it out.
You've seen everybody get like you just killed the head of the car, and then that too. That's the second thing I have an issue with.
Javi killed Wyatt, and you think that
they're gonna like, oh my god, Marty said we shouldn't kill her, so we shouldn't kill her. No, like, but then also too, she killed the head of the cartel, and within like an episode or two, it's like the cartel is just like, shit happens. What? What? Are you kidding me? They just sent the random lawyer down there, and she was like, does anybody know anything? And they were like, no. And then she's like, all right, I'll see you guys later. Like, what the fuck?
But I feel like that was like a smoke screen. It's like, we're going to pretend like we aren't going to kill you.
No, they truly didn't know, obviously, until
Wendy told.
No, it wasn't Wendy. It wasn't Wendy. It was the snitching ass fucking pharmaceutical lady.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's her name?
Snitching ass.
Claire
All she had to do was not say shit. Like, what is she gonna do? Are they gonna kill you?
But you know she's not built for this shit.
Nah, she was not.
She was not built for this at all. She didn't know who exactly she was getting into bed with.
Nah.
When she got...
No, she knew who she was getting in bed with. She just, cracked under pressure.
She was getting into bed with Marty and Wendy, but she didn't know that they were as ruthless as they were.
No,
I feel like Claire Shaw thought that she was the smartest person in the room. until time and time again, she realized like I'm being outmatched time and time again. And it's not these people who work for me. I work for them. And she didn't realize that until Ruth killed Javi in her office. That's when she realized.
And then Ruth told her like basically about who the fuck they are.
Yeah, that's when she realized I've been bested. I've been outmatched.
Yeah, no, she was sloppy. But like my main point with that is that like okay, so Ruth kills Javi, right? And basically all of like 1 or 2 episodes the cartel spends it, but like there's security footage. There's like 3 people there. Like
when Ruth killed Javi?
Yeah.
Oh, listen, CEO, there's no security footage.
If you're the cartel, there's definitely security footage.
No,
you see what I'm saying? No,
Claire Shaw. No, I'm the CEO of this company. There's no footage. We were doing maintenance on our security system.
No. What I'm saying is and that's fair. She can wipe it out, erase it, or whatever, do whatever, right? But as the fucking cartel, there has to be a way for you to figure out, like, okay, and eventually they did. But it wasn't. It was basically just like a personal, like, it wasn't like they discovered it. It was just like she just cracked under pressure and just fucking like told them.
So the sister, Omar Navarro's sister, I forget her name. She's played by, I love this actress too. Unfortunately, she always seems to play like the drug queenpin or the wife of the kingpin, or like in this case, the sister of the. But she's a great actress. She's actually in another show that I watch. Her name is Veronica Falcon.
Yeah.
She played Camilla El Zidandro, and so yeah, she just leaned on Claire, and Claire cracked.
Yeah.
And that's how she found out. But if you're right, if Claire would have just stood her ground for a second,
everybody's cool.
Happened, everybody's fine.
Yeah. But in any event, I guess that's what I took exception with how they sort of wrapped up. And I love the way she went out, because she went out the only way Ruth could go out, you know? But like the fact that she basically restarts her life, and the first thing she wants to do is go back. And I understand that she basically has like a daughter father thing with Marty, right? So she's basically just trying to get his attention, right? But also she tried to do that, but also try to like rebuild the image of the Langamore curse, you know,
clearing the land out, trying to build a house there.
But it's like there's so many different ways you could do that you don't have to go about it doing it the way that she went about doing it, and I just felt like the motivations for all that was just so like stupid. It's like this is not the way you would do it.
I feel like Ruth, her character, at a lot of times, I feel like she wanted to be. She thought more highly of herself than the people around her.
Oh, right? I would argue quite the opposite, meaning that she didn't think as much of herself as everybody else around her.
Well, in this particular situation, I think she thought that I can if I get my record clear, I can now take over the casino, and now I'm the casino owner, changing the whole like Langamore narrative, right? I'm going to build the house on the land. I'm going to take the offshore accounts and bring them onshore, and there's going to be no more cleaning dirty money in my casino, right? Because I'm on a fresh new path. But she didn't, and she thought that she was high enough to pull this off.
How? Like what? Like so.
Here's how I'll tell you. Because remember what she told Marty outside the casino when he was like, "Hey, we need to start washing more money." She said, "No, the shores are on. The accounts are onshore. Basically, like Marty, you figure it out."
Yeah.
And Marty was like, "Yo, they will kill you."
Yeah.
And she was like, "No, they won't if you figure it out." And she thought like, "Hey, I beat you.
But
I win this
my
one."
problem with that is that that relies upon Marty figuring out a way to do that in a very short amount of time. If you're a betting person, Marty, he's pulled off miracles. Let's not kid ourselves here.
The reality, that's not why she died either. She died because
she killed Javi. Yeah.
She killed Javi.
But
so she may have been right.
No. But she wasn't though. I'm saying the reason why they got there was a convention of the storytelling versus the logic of it.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you killed the head of the cartel and then you also take the cartel's operations and cut it off, those two things you're going to find trouble.
Yeah.
At any point, I don't care if you got Marty Bird, I don't fuck you if you got Larry Bird. You're going to find trouble at some point in that equation.
But I will say this though.
Yeah.
If Claire didn't crack and tell
she would have got away with it.
She would have got away with it. So
but I'm saying she would have got away with it not because of the logic of the cartel would have just like figured some other shit out. It's because it's like, no, the cartel would just be like, who's holding this up? Wait, why aren't we able to launder money? oh, kill her. It's fine.
Yeah,
like,
but like Marty would have found a way to like keep her alive to clean
no,
the
but
money.
you're the point I'm making is that the writers can create whatever the scenario is that they want, right? So if the writers say that nah, she lives and she's perfectly fine, it's fine. What I'm saying is the logic behind it just doesn't, like, if you're trying to really build like a life for yourself and really make it clean and make it so that you don't have to like worry about shit. This is the last thing you would do. Like, this is the last thing you would go to.
I don't understand her. I think what she was doing, like she had bullshit cards in her hand.
Yeah.
But she was trying to.
She was playing even worse.
Hard, super bluff. And I somewhat admire that because she's like, hey, basically telling Marty, you're going to figure it out. They're going to kill me if you don't. And you don't want them to kill me. Like, you don't want that on your conscience. So you're going to find a way. Super bluff.
Nigga.
And it almost worked if Claire didn't crack.
No. No. Actually, she actually did inadvertently cause her own death, because if it weren't for that, then the Shaws, then they wouldn't have to. They wouldn't have had to go back to the relationship with Claire in that case, right? Unless I have that.
No, they went back to the relationship with Claire because Camilla. Remember, Claire owed.
No, but that's what I'm saying. They because what they did was they had to go back to all of that because they had to figure out a new. For one, the fact that, Ruby, my brain just went brain dead for a second. Ruth. Yeah, Ruth. Yeah. Ruth killed Javi, right? But if Ruth never comes back and takes the operations for the casino, then they don't need to, they can just keep doing that. But they needed to like have this event where they raised all this money because they couldn't launder money through the casino anymore. So if I'm remembering sort of like the course of events.
The reason why they went back to Claire, if you remember this, remember when they convinced Camilla that she should now be the head of the cartel and that they didn't need Omar Navarro anymore. Mm-hmm. That's when Camilla was like, okay, if I'm going to do this, I want full control of the family and the family's assets. So I need those shares in Shaw Medical. Like I need that done. Remember
right, that? But there's a reason, because they were still trying to get Navarro out because it wasn't for Camila at first. Remember?
No,
it wasn't for Camila. Only
the shares were for Navarro's children. Camila's like, I want that.
I'm not talking about the shares. What I'm saying is the fact that they made Camila the person is because they were trying to get Navarro out of jail, right? Yeah. Or out of, I guess, the place that he was, right? But the reason why they couldn't get him out immediately is because they didn't have the money to get him out from the casino. They couldn't, because they couldn't wash the money. They couldn't wash enough money in order to get him out of there, right? Or at least, I guess on the back end, they would have needed money to bribe off whoever in Mexico in order to have him be free. So that's why the game plan changed. Okay, well, we can't get this nigga out or have that done through the casino. So fuck it. Let's just go with Camila. She's the better option in this case because she doesn't need the money to get out of jail and she's already free.
Yeah, but if I remember correctly, they figured the money situation out because remember Wendy's guy was able to get all those lists of donors, all those big wigs.
That was only after that was a not necessarily a separate scenario, but that was post the fact that they already made it Camila that's going to be the person who basically is like going to be the horse that they're riding.
I thought they were all connected. It's like, all right, we're gonna make Camila the head of the cartel. We don't need Claire anymore.
No, they did still need Claire because they needed her because they needed that money in order to attract all the other people, all the other investors for that party.
But no. But that's the thing that they didn't. Well, Wendy initially thought that they did, but remember her lawyer guy called her and he was like, hey, we've got everybody we need.
Yeah, but that was like literally at the no, he didn't say that we didn't need Claire anymore because Claire was still there. Like remember, like that's how we even got to the end part where she's there talking to Navarro's sister.
We may just be but from my memory, I think they got to a point where they're like, hey, we actually don't need Claire. We've got all the other investors we need.
Yeah.
And the reason they went back to Claire was because Camilla was like, no, I still want the shares.
No, she still wanted the shares, but they still needed the pharmaceutical company. But my point is with all that is that the whole logic of what Ruth was doing for somebody who wanted to restart there was just
I guess dumb. Her motivation kind of made sense. Her tactics didn't. Because I get that she's like,
no, I'm sorry. The motivation for her to take over to take over the casino.
Yeah,
is what I'm saying. Like that, the motivation for that is just dumb, because if you're trying to start a new life and you're trying to do things the right way,
you
the
don't
clean
take
way,
over a dirty business.
the fucking that they're gonna come after you.
But at the same time, if you can take that business,
easy. Yeah. Oh, you know what? Still take over the casino, but be like, all right, Marty, I'll give this up if you give me X amount of money, and you know he's good for it. Because he actually did offer her money, unless I'm remembering that incorrect. He actually did offer her money. He's like, "How much do you want in order to make this go away?"
And
so
her
take the
going
fucking
down
money
to Miami to get the girl. What was her name again?
I forget what her name was.
Who owned the Blue Cat Lodge or whatever.
And then she was mad at Marty for the kid, and I'm like, "Yo, this dude's ducking the cartel every week, trying not to die."
About a part-time employee. You want me to? I'm fucking with these cartel people. You want me to worry about a part-time employee from a business I don't even run anymore?
Fam.
Yeah, that was kind of.
And the fact that she was so hot about it is just like, this is preposterous. Like, he's literally every week he's having to fucking duck and die for his life, you know. And he's like,
someone is trying to kill me right now, and you want me to back pay this kid? Or help him get a job? Like, you want me to interview him right now? Like, I'm busy.
Yeah, man. Anyways, what is your summation of the? Because we gotta.
So for me, I just look at. I think the ending was great. While the Ruth storyline did feel a little bit rushed and her decision making was very spotty,
a little shaky. Yeah,
I liked how what we saw was just a consequences coming full circle. Right? It's like you can't do all of this and expect nothing. Expect to never get dirty.
Unless you're the Birds.
Right? I mean, the Birds, they had to, I feel like they were all compromised in some way. They had to watch. Marty had to essentially have someone killed, and then Wendy's decision to tell Ruth that Javi was on the way got him killed, and that eventually led to Ruth getting killed, and their children are in danger. She had to basically admit to, like, you know what? She finally admitted to the fact that I am the one who got Ben killed. And then her relationship with her father, her fractured relationship with her kids.
I mean, her dad's a piece of shit.
Her dad is a piece of shit, but her fractured relationship with her children. So everyone lost something in this in this final season. I think everybody lost something.
Yeah.
Nobody was ever really like the same after that. And I love the fact that it ended in a way in which, like, they didn't answer all of the questions, because rarely in life do you get all the answers. Like, one of my favorite quotes, and I forget exactly who said it, it'll come to me after the show, but it was like, closure is a luxury that you're not always going to get. Like, if a relationship with somebody ends, sometimes you're not going to get the closure that you need. If you get fired from your job, and you're like, well, I've worked here for 10 years, and your job is just like, sorry, we got to downsize, like, you may not get that closure from your boss or your company as to why. And in this situation, we got some answers. We didn't get all the answers. Like, what happened to 3? You know what I mean? What happened to the woman from the woman who owned the Blue Cat Lodge? What happens to her?
I thought Camila, because the car was parked. And so what I just, even though they didn't really explain it, like, I thought maybe she just went and killed him first, and then she came and found Ruth, because the car, when Ruth pulled up with the car, their car was empty. So it's just like, well, why the fuck did she get out of the car? Like,
she's flanker, double back. You know what I mean? Like,
I guess.
Oh, you thought I'm up there? Nope, I'm really behind here. Turn around. I got the strap pointed at you.
I mean, it took her a second to get out of the fucking wherever she came from.
She had all the dress on and heels. I'd have heard it coming. First of all, Ruth's first mistake was throwing away the gun that she used to kill Javi, or at least get it. She threw it into the lake. Now you just killed the head of the cartel.
Nah, you want to get a different gun. You don't want to keep that same gun. Like,
keep that one. Keep that one until you get a new one. But she just went and threw it in the lake. You can't kill the head of the cartel and then throw your only protection away.
Do you think that the 9 is going to keep you safe? They're coming with choppers for you.
At the end of the day, it was just her and Camilla. So if she had the tool on her, she might have had a fighting chance.
I'm thinking about this from like a realistic, like, if I was in that position, what the fuck would I do? I would think that, my little 9 is going to protect me when they have the firing squad coming after me.
But would you rather have the 9 or just your fists?
No, I would just get a different gun. Like,
and that's what
I'd get rid of that evidence and then get a different gun.
But I wouldn't get rid of that gun until I had another form of
protection. I'd get rid of it immediately. You know why? Because if the cops pull up and if the sheriff was worth anything.
Listen, the Birds will.
That's not how it works.
I'm not fitting to be rolling around here without this strap.
Fair enough.
So I liked how at the end of the season, like everyone lost something. There's got to be consequences for everybody. Even the kids were compromised. What's the boy's name? Jonah and Charlotte. Yeah. I fucking hated Jonah at the end of the season. Like,
I actually liked him. There was like a season where I was like, yeah, this dude's unbearable. But it's like, what is it about sons who fucking go against like that?
I used to hate Charlotte. Like, like get your. But like then at the end, Jonah's just like, bro, at this point, how dangerous this is. You can't just be like, oh, I'm not gonna.
You know what it is? I think we hate disloyalty, and we always feel loyal to our families. So when we see somebody on the screen who, like, is just adamantly going against their family, even though their family is like fighting for their lives, it's like there's the immediate gut reaction, like, you piece of shit, like
because it's like now is not the time to be divided. This division could get you all killed.
Yo, and I don't know if that's a thing of like immigrant children, but like I like that same thing, that same sentiment that you have is what I have intensely of just like, all right, we might have our differences, we might have, we not see eye to eye.
Call me, but if you're like, yo, I'm going to war with these people. I need you.
Where we at?
Fuck.
Yeah.
Strap
where
up.
we at?
I'm not gonna be like, oh, this is your fight. Not
mine. Or purposely like rat you out or like
be a
whatever.
Part of this family.
Nah,
like
fam.
I can't do that. So towards the end, I didn't really like Jonah, but everybody lost something. And I feel like this, for me, when I look back at the show and I reflect on the entirety of the show, it comes down to like one word for me. It's just, or two words: choices and consequences.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
And they continue to make choices that were very risky and very dangerous because they wanted to win so bad. Marty wanted to win, and then Wendy was like, I want to win. I want the second casino, and I want the hotel, and I want to beat the senator guy, and I want to show these motherfuckers that I can play on this level too.
Yeah.
And then Jonah wanted to win. Like, oh, I'm leaving the family. I'm gonna go work for Ruth, and I want to win. And then Ruth wanted to win. Javi wanted to win. Everybody lost.
I don't know. I'm not. I don't know if I agree with that. I think that you're right that it is about choices and consequences, right? And I think that's what sums up those arcs perfectly. But I think I see it a little differently than you do in terms of like, you can afford to be, or you can be whoever you can afford to be. Meaning that if there's like literally anybody else other than the birds in that same exact scenario, they don't win. They all lose in terms of dying, right? Mm-hmm. But because of Marty's fucking, apparently this nigga is. Yeah, he needs to be in Marvel. They're about to have a character.
That's a powerful position, apparently.
Jesus. And then with Wendy's sort of cunningness, especially when it comes to like wheeling and dealing with politics and all this other stuff, powerful.
Yeah, that's a hell of a combination.
Yeah, hell of a combination. And at the end of the day, the reason why they were the ones still standing is because they could afford to do the things that they did, right? Ruth could not afford to make some of the plays that she made. Javi could not afford to make some of the plays that he did. Navarro
could.
They all thought everybody thought they could, right? Everybody thinks that they can make the moves that they're making as they're making them because they're like, fuck, this is what I'm doing right now, right? But there's only, and that's why I love that line where she, the dude's like, you don't just get to get away with this. And he's like, since when? Like, of course we do. Of course. And what's beautiful about the ending too is that Jonah, I feel like the whole series was kind of about Jonah in that the whole time they were trying to sort of like, at the beginning they were trying to save them from this life, and then he rebelled against them, and then in the end what you see is that Jonah is sort of like the future, like in both of them, Charlotte and Jonah, right? They're basically like the future, right? And it's Wendy and Marty trying as they may to make it so that we're doing it for our kids or whatever the case is. And the fact that like they're not really doing it for their kids, they're doing it because we want to have power and we want to be able to dictate our own future, right? Which is honestly kind of the American way, right? We want to, no matter what, we want to fucking dictate what the fuck happens in this scenario.
And that's a lie. Anyone who's like, everything I do is for my children,
it's bullshit.
You're lying to yourself because the shit you do, like when your kids are at school or out with their friends and you're still doing the shit that you're doing, you're doing it for yourself.
Yeah.
Like I work, I want to take care of my daughter, but I also have my own ambitions. Right?
Well, and also too, when you're putting that child in danger You can't also be saying, I'm doing this for my kids. You're putting your child in danger for their own benefit.
Yeah, they sound stupid. Teach your kids at like 10 years old, like, if you hear anybody come in, shoot through the door. You know what I mean? Like, but also be like, I'm doing this for you. Like, are you?
And I loved how like that little smirk at the end when they see Jonah with the gun and they're like, my nigga. That was so great.
Did Jonah, what happened again?
So you don't really see him, but you hear the shot. So you see the dude. He's got the little. He's basically got the evidence that like could take them down, right? And they're like, "Oh shit, how do we get out of this?" And it's the first time where you see the birds. The house? No, it's outside the house. So the dude broke into the house after they got back from the.
Was it the detective guy?
The detective guy. So he basically bends ashes. And they picked a perfect dude to play that role because he's so fucking annoying, but you know he's right in terms of like, you know he's doing the right thing. But you're like, you're such an asshole, though. So they picked
the job back in Chicago. You'll live. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But it was the first time where they, as a family, were like, all right, this nigga's gotta go. You know what I mean?
Yeah. As a collective.
Do
all the birds agree? And everyone was like, all right.
And I love the fact that they brought it full circle with like Jonah going back to like when they first moved there and the dude was trying to teach him how to shoot and shit like that. And he like closed his eyes, buddy. And he like closed his eyes, you know, all of that shit they brought back to full circle. All to say that, again, you can afford to be, or you can be whoever it is that you can afford to be. And I think that what the birds were trying to do was trying to dictate their own future. And again, we see it differently in terms of like how Marty was, but I feel like we saw who Marty really was based off of when he beat the shit out of that dude on the on the highway. Yeah. That's who fucking Marty is, but that was him uninhibited by like trying to appear as the good guy. That was it. And somebody pointed this out, and it was like such a good point, is that he would always look at Wendy, like especially like when she was threatening people. Like even you were using the example of when Wendy sent the Nelson Hector, to go Nelson, to that was slightly racist, but fair enough. To go get the woman. Marty on that fucking in traffic was like, I'll fucking have you killed. Yeah. So he was using the weight of the fucking.
There's a difference between saying it and doing it, because like you could threaten people all the time.
He did after that beat the shit out of the dude, but fair enough. I hear what
that dude was a bitch though. Fuck that dude.
No, but
Marty tried to warn him. I was praying to God. I'm like, Marty, please pipe up on this motherfucker. Please throw hands with this man.
No, but like one more point is that. When it's Wendy making the threats and like doing other shit, and I understand like actually doing the thing is slightly different than threatening to do the thing, but you saw that come, like if pushed correctly, Marty can get to that same space too. It's just that all of that is under a thick layer of non-emotion and him trying to be the good guy and all that, but underneath all of that shit is kind of still the same monster as Wendy is.
I feel like anyone in Marty's situation would have reacted that same way, and it doesn't necessarily make him a monster.
Are you talking about on the in traffic?
In traffic, yeah.
No. I'm not saying that situation isolated alone makes him a monster. What I'm saying is that Marty has basically the same emotions as Wendy, but they just convey it in very different ways. They go about handling situations in very different ways. So for instance, towards the beginning of the series, or even I guess in this same season, or maybe it was the season before, there's a point where they're like, where Wendy's like, "I love you," and Marty's just like, "All right,
yeah." Cool. Marty still has that tape. He still has that
exactly
Kim Kardashian tape on his computer.
But think of how insane that fucking is. He knew she was cheating on him. That's how the whole series starts. He still do all of this, do all the crazy shit that it's seeming like she's dragging them through. He's still choosing, just like you said, choice and consequence. He's still choosing to stay with her, even though he knows that even if she didn't cheat on him, like just take all the crazy shit she's decided outside of that. There's just no way, guy. When's the next bus to wherever the fuck it is? Yeah. I'd take it immediately.
But Marty, and you leave, your wife and children are dead. So he had no choice but to
stay. There were so many instances during it where they could have exited. They had so many opportunities.
Marty wants to win too.
At the end of season two, they could have just left. It was Wendy who brought them back in.
Sure.
And even at that point, Marty could have been like, "You're on your own, champ."
No, he couldn't have.
Why? Why not?
Because
they were done. Cartel, all that shit was done. All that shit was wraps.
But Wendy dug even deeper.
Exactly.
Right?
So at that point, you could have been like, "You're on your own. I'm out of here."
No, you can't.
Why?
They're a married couple. They have 2 children together. If Wendy
take the kids and leave, like what? I'm fighting your heart
with Marty.
What? They love Marty. What? Are you drunk right now? Are you?
Bro,
they love Marty.
So at the end of season 2,
everybody hated Wendy and loved Marty.
But they're not just gonna leave Wendy. You really think Marty, Charlotte, and Jonah would just be like, "We're leaving," and they would just
Jonah actually
Wendy?
did leave. Charlotte
Jonah
was always on the
moved
fence
into a fucking motel.
Exactly. He literally left. Yeah.
That's not leaving. Is if he left the Ozarks,
it's a fucking minor. What is he gonna do? Where is he gonna go?
I mean, he had money. Like he had money in those like shell companies.
Yeah, but he's also a minor, so there's only so many things he could do.
But
the reason why he was at the motel is because Ruth was the person.
Even
who
they said that he was of the age where he could make a decision.
No, Jonah was 15.
No, I'm talking about Jonah.
Yeah, he's 15.
He
he was 15. Nope, he was 15.
Didn't the lawyer say that he was legally old, and if he was able to take care of himself, which he was?
No, they said that about him and I think it was because Charlotte was old enough at that point.
Well, so they said they can choose where they want to live.
Yeah.
So Jonah and Charlotte could make the decision, and both together as well as individual about where they could live.
You're adding that in, but
no, that is what the woman said. The lawyer woman.
No, but she said even though it's like I think it was this isn't going to be the exact thing, but it was like this is irregular, but because your fucking family's crazy, I'm going to leave it up to you two. But that's not. Jonah was literally still 15 at that point. Like there's no dispute.
But he was 15. He was clearly capable of like living by himself, taking care of himself, feeding himself.
What are we arguing about right
so
now?
What I'm saying is, in season 2. When Wendy decided that she was going to stay and wanted to dig deeper, Marty couldn't leave. The reason why he didn't leave is because he couldn't. Because if he did, he would either have to abandon his wife and his children, or he would have to ask his wife and children to come with him.
I'm sorry, but you're definitely like 100% wrong on this.
So you think Marty could have just left?
No. I think if you're saying he would have to stay for his wife and kids, I think you got half of that right in terms of he would have to stay if he wanted to be with Wendy. But if at any point, especially at that particular time, he wanted to be like, well, fuck Wendy. The kids were wholly on his side. Jonah, clearly, we saw how that ended up. But Charlotte, especially at that particular point in time, Charlotte was not him. Her and Wendy were fucking butting heads. So if Marty was like, yo, I'm out of here, they would have gladly have. Maybe at that point, Jonah would have been a little bit harder to convince, but it wouldn't have been that fucking hard to convince him to leave with them. What my point is that Marty, at each point in time, he chose to stay. And again, I credit you in terms of putting it so eloquently of like the show is about choice and consequences. At any point, Marty could have picked up a leave, honestly, with kids, without the kids, whatever the fuck it is. He could have been very self-motivated and just did whatever the fuck he wanted. But he actually, in his own fucking warped way, really actually fucking does love Wendy.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel like on the surface, I get why you're saying what you're saying about he could have left. But I feel like on the surface, maybe they could have packed up and, Marty and Jonah and Charlotte got in the car. But and if Wendy was going to stay, to actually drive away and leave and know that she could end up dead, I feel like.
But that's her choice. Like that's her choice at that.
Yeah.
If you're in a relationship, right, and the person is like, hey, I'm going to go rob this bank, right, and you're like, nah, I don't think that's a good sign. That's not a good look for us. And they're adamant that they're going to do it. Yeah, it's your choice, and whether you stay in that relationship and risk going down the same hole that they go down, or you could just be like, all right, well, I'm sorry about that.
Well, in this situation, it was Marty who was like, I'm going to rob the bank. He brought the family in, and then Wendy, they got the money,
and they were about to get out.
Leave, and then Wendy's like, I'm going to go back for the diamonds.
Nigga, I am not going back. You go back for the diamonds.
But if she gets caught, you get caught. If they kill her, they're going to kill you too and your kids. So you have to stay.
No, what? But yeah. So we just that's just something we disagree on.
Yeah,
that doesn't disagree. That doesn't.
I don't
change.
think Marty had much of a choice in certain situations. Like unless everyone was going to leave, nobody could leave.
No, but weirdly enough, and the reason why I think what you're saying is so weird is because that was actually like the crux of the show. Is that at various points they could have just been like, all right, we're out of here at any point, because
it would have to be all of them. It couldn't just be one or two of them. It couldn't just be Marty. It couldn't just be Wendy. It couldn't just be the kids.
No, and you know how I know this for sure is because at a certain point, Marty he was offered from the FBI the deal, right? And he chose not to take it not because of anything else, except for Wendy.
Because if Marty's in prison doing 18 months in prison, and then eventually works for the FBI.
So are you telling me like the FBI would have just like left Wendy and the kids out in the
the deal was you do time in jail, and
I'm
you come
assuming,
out and you work for the FBI, not witness protection for your family.
No, come on. So you're telling me that the FBI, Marty's going to go do 18 months, do a bit, and then the family is just going to either be there, I'm assuming not working with the cartel at that point, and the cartel being like, what the fuck's up with this? And then for the FBI to just be like, and for Marty to knowingly do like.
Do you think the FBI cares that much about their family?
No, I don't think Marty agrees to the deal if his family's just out in the wind. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, he clearly didn't agree to it in general. I'm sure even if they did.
No, but I'm sure he would not accept the deal if it's going to be heavily implied that your family's just going to be on their own and there's not going to be anything you can do about it. Like, that's crazy. Why would you accept that?
Perspective, even if they offered witness protection.
What are we arguing about?
I think we view his decision-making process differently. I think I feel like he had more of a choice.
Yeah, we're spending way more time on this than I wanted to.
Yeah,
but like,
we can wrap after this. But
why?
I just don't feel like
why do you?
Choice.
Yeah, you're so adamant about this. Now I'm like really curious because I feel like it's pretty, especially like when it comes to like the FBI deal or when it comes to at the end of season 2, they like based off of the show's structure. They offer this at so many different points because it's to show the audience that like it just like how you're talking about in terms of choice and consequence, right? That he's choosing at each junction to stay. Both of them had various decisions to make throughout the course of it, right? She had the decision that when he first brought them to the Ozarks to be like, no, what the fuck? I'm sorry, did you just say the cartel? I'm out of this bitch, right? They all had the choices to make, and clearly like that was like laid out. But it's strange how you're like, oh well, like they didn't. Like almost like he didn't have the choice. And it's like, well, he did. He absolutely had the choice.
Sure. So, for example, take the situation where the FBI offered him the deal, right? And while they didn't clarify in the episode, but I do see what you're saying about it's more than likely that Marty would have never taken that deal if his family didn't have witness protection, right? So he has a choice there. Do I go to prison for 18 months? My family goes in witness protection. Hopefully the FBI keeps them safe against the fucking cartel, which they have their own resources too. Or do I not take the deal, stay on the outside with my family and try and keep my family safe with me there present? I feel like that for Marty, because he has a wife that he loves and he has children that he loves, that's a very, very tough decision to make. Do I leave them and for 18 months I'm not there to protect my family?
Well, not necessarily, because actually Marty actually does go back to try to actually get the deal. So at a certain point he thought it was risky enough that he had no other options, that this is the thing that I have to do. So I don't think it was like the craziest thing in the world for him to do that. And then
him going back to hopefully try and get that deal was like, I feel like in that moment he was like, I have no other choice.
Yeah, but and I know you remember like when because I think it was Charlotte who said it that, or I forget who exactly said it. It was somebody who said it, who like looked at Marty and was like, the only reason why you're not accepting this deal is because of Wendy, right? Like it wasn't because, and it wasn't because it's like,
I feel like Marty didn't trust Wendy to make the right decisions and keep the kids safe either. So he's like, I feel like Marty's like, yo, if I'm not there to protect the family.
But again, Aaron, like I feel like they went through, they like laid it out pretty clearly, like taking the kids out of the equation for a second. Like Marty just genuinely fucking loves Wendy, which is why like Ruth kept like, oh, like, well, you can't fucking make a decision, for yourself, that, she's the person who, makes all decisions for you. They go through, like, the kids are one thing. Like, he clearly loves the kids and wants to protect the kids. But there's something between Marty and Wendy that it was like a fucking like, but this is clearly unhealthy. It doesn't
make sense to remove the kids from the equation because they are in the equation. Like you can't remove something that is a huge factor in the decision.
What is going on right now? I'm not saying that they're not in the, what I'm saying is that the show goes through great lengths to be like, okay, the kids are one thing, but there's something between Marty and Wendy that they can't like leave each other. Like they just love each other that much that through all these craziness, through all the fucking blood and the fucking cartel and all this other shit, they still choose each other at the end of the way, exemplified by how when they get one of the last scenes of the show, when they get to the house and they pull up, which is why I love the dichotomy between, there was a scene earlier, I think it was that in that season where Wendy's like, I love you. And he's just like, he like kind of just doesn't answer her, or he like takes a while to answer her. Whereas when they get back to the house in the last episode, why they basically both just say to each other at the same time, like, I love you too. Like, and because they're choosing each other. Again, the kids weren't in the car. That was just between the two of them, and the show goes through that repeatedly of saying like, okay, yes, the kids are a factor, but there's something between Marty and Wendy that they just cannot like fucking leave each other alone. There's a reason why she was cheating on him. He had the fucking video of it, and why he was still like, he still wanted to be with her, you know?
And while he is choosing Wendy, right? A huge part of the reason why he's choosing Wendy is because he's like, Marty wants to keep the family together. He wants to keep the family safe. Yeah. So it is choosing Wendy, but it is also saying, I'm choosing you because we need to keep the family together. Okay. That's how I view it.
Sure.
I think you view it more individually, like they're choosing each other, but they're not individual. Like they have the children. So it's like, I'm choosing you and the family. That is what I'm really choosing. But I'm choosing the entire life.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, not just like the Ozarks, but like just in general too, you have the family, but you also have the relationship, right? Which is why we see so many like divorces, like especially like later in, if you have kids when you're early in the relationship, and then like all these years later, it's like, yo, you've been in a relationship for like 60 years, and then all of a sudden you're like, hey, I want a divorce, right? It's why we see shit like that, right? It's because there's still the relationship that you have as like it's both. It's not one or the other. It's both. You both have to have relationships with one another as a couple, right? And also the dichotomy of the entire family, right? And if one of those should lapse for any reason, then of course it's going to affect the other. But it doesn't mean that they're not also individual, right? Like that, even if you are married and you have kids, you still need the relationship between the two. Every decision you make, it can't, just like we said, not everything you do is fucking for your kids. You may lie to yourself and say that. That's not fucking true. You do some shit for you because you have to. You're a person. You're a human being, right?
I think that if Marty and Wendy didn't have the children, they probably Marty would have left, or Wendy would have left, or something like that. But the kids are like, and the family, it's like, that's a different type of anger. And I feel like when they choose each other, it's also like, I'm choosing you and this family.
I think that's why it's art and it's beautiful. We can interpret it however which way. I think that's what you read into it. I read something a little different into it.
Yeah, and a third person may take a different angle altogether.
For sure. Anyways, so that's our thoughts on the Ozark. Look, I have not watched these fucking trailers. We're gonna fucking watch these trailers, okay? Because I've been waiting. I literally haven't watched them.
Now we're gonna do it now.
We have to do it. I don't care if we do it back to back. We don't have to talk about it afterwards. We're gonna watch these fucking trailers, all right? So first,
I said, Jesus Christ, this is a podcast where we review movies.
So we're gonna watch the first one, man. Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1. So this is gonna be a two-parter. We're of course getting the first part right now. A group of vigilantes set out to take down a corrupt. Oh, I'm sorry. No, that's not the synopsis for that. Hold on, let me pull this up a bit. Basically, the further adventures of Ethan Hunt and the IMF. So what I think this is doing is, bless you, is basically setting up the exit for Ethan Hawke. Now, Ethan Hawke. No, not Ethan Hawke. Ethan Hunt is who that is. But I don't. What's not clear is if Mission Impossible is going to continue post Tom Cruise's Ethan Hunt. But I guess we'll
he can't be the only one doing these impossible missions. I mean, like,
apparently he can. He's been doing it for about 8 movies now. So
kind of like what they're doing with like 007, where they brought in another 007, right? And she took the 007 mantle in the last film, but then gave it back to him.
Yeah,
kind of when Tom Brady retires, and the quarterback behind him is now QB1, and then Tom comes out of retirement. It's like, oh fuck, okay, you can go. There's nothing you can do about it. But eventually, I do feel like there is a story to be told with this whole Ethan Hunt Mission Impossible thing. Of we're still going to do these missions. Like, what is it? MI6? Is it MI6?
IMF.
IMF is still very much a thing, without Ethan Hunt. He's our guy. He's our number one guy. But we still got a thing without him. At least I'd imagine that's where it's going to go. There's too much fucking content there and more story to just end it. That's why they keep doing all these fucking Fast and Furious movies. They're like, yo, Ford just dropped a new. Now we got to do Fast and Furious EV, electric vehicles, right? when Vin Diesel's like, no more like, my GTO and right, they're gonna be like, bring somebody else in who's like my Tesla, We're gonna go EV in the next in 11 and 12.
Just start going spaceships. They're like, all right, well, fuck all this car shit. Let's have niggas
gravity. They were in
racing
space
in space. I know. Apparently, this is what I heard. I haven't watched like the last like 2 movies.
Yo, it is. It's a hard watch.
Yeah, hold on,
you can't not be on something when you're watching this movie. Like you can't. If you're too sober, it might fuck you up. This movie.
Oh, yeah.
You have to have a substance in your system.
Fair enough. All right, let's watch this, man. Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning is which sounds like a fucking video game, but anyways. All right, let's check this out. Nope. What is this?
Thor.
That's not it.
Thor.
No, this is what we want.
Yep, there we go.
No. We're not hearing it.
Yep.
What's happening here?
I'm telling you, fuck these trailers. Get out of here.
Yeah, we might have to say fuck the trailers, dude. What the fuck? Why isn't this working?
You've seen them already.
I haven't. I literally haven't.
No, I'm talking about the people watching and listening.
Here we go. I know what the fucking problem is. There we go. Okay.
Yep, Addy just told us no audio.
There we go. I really fucking.
Your days of fighting for the so-called greater good are over. This is our chance to control the truth, the concepts of right and wrong.
Oh shit!
Everyone
It was
for
from
centuries
Ozark.
to come. You're fighting to save an ideal that doesn't exist. Never did. You need to pick a side.
Yeah. Really that way.
You just think he really did that shit?
I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah. Well, I guess you don't really need talking in trailers anymore. You just images.
What are we talking about? Yeah.
Yeah.
So great trailer.
No conversations happening.
Visually was stunning. I feel like the pacing was great.
Had you already watched it?
No.
Yeah,
that was the first time.
The first
that was good.
Yeah.
I've seen that clip because like the whole story is like he really did that shit.
Yeah.
Like, I give him credit for that.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like it's a really good trailer. They showed enough to like make it look and seem exciting. The pacing was great. Visually, it was stunning. Car chase scenes, fight scenes, explosion shit. I feel like they're taking Bond cues here. It felt very 007-esque. It was like very.
I mean, you can say that as much as any other fucking.
Yeah,
Mission
007
Impossible
does
movie.
it the best. The charm behind like we're doing a spy
What
shit.
charm did we see there? There was just Tom Cruise jumping out of planes.
It was. I mean, fighting in suits and.
He's done that for
nice
9 movies
restaurant. No one paid their tab, but we're fighting. The server, who I feel bad for in all these movies is like the server. Who's
100%.
Like,
yeah.
Mr. Bond, like, are you gonna close out? He's like, no, we're gonna shoot.
We're gonna
like,
fight. Like, what? My rents do this.
Yeah, listen, it's the end of the month. My rent literally just increased $200 out of nowhere. I need you to sign.
Yeah.
But I liked it. It was a great trailer. I'm gonna see it.
Yeah, what are you not going to see it? Come on. That was a weird trailer in that it had like precisely 2 points audio, and I don't know if maybe something was fucked up and me transferring it and getting an audio and shit, but there was just like no audio, which is like strange for a theater like this, for a trailer like this. Usually you get some sort of like, we're trying to rev you up and like create a mystery. There's this like Ethan doing Ethan shit.
Yeah.
Cool. So I don't know. Maybe I guess kudos to them.
I guess there was
leaning
enough
into
visually there, and have some subtle music in the background.
For as much as you can figure out whatever the fuck is going on in a Mission Impossible movie, it's usually you could just carbon copy the trailer for one Mission Impossible movie to the other.
That might have been
Ghost Recon.
Yeah, Ghost Protocol or something.
A Ghost Recon, Ghost Protocol. Who knows? Yeah, for sure. All right, let's check out the second trailer for Thor: Love and Thunder, because it just dropped this past week. Hold on, let me make sure I got that. Yeah.
Kids, get your popcorn now. Let me tell you the story of the space Viking, Thor Odinson. He was no ordinary man. He was a god. After saving planet Earth for the 500th time, Thor set off on a new journey. When he got in shape, he went from dad bod to god bod. And after all that, he reclaimed his title as the one and only Thor. Oh, spoke too soon.
Jane? The old ex-girlfriend.
What's it been like? 3, 4 years?
8 years, 7 months and 6 days, give or take.
Am I sensing feelings?
Well, you're right.
The only ones who gods care about is themselves.
So this is my vow.
All gods will die.
I just want to say that was very, very impressive what you did back there.
He's just my first bad guy.
You never forget your first.
You are not like the other gods of kill.
Because I have something worth fighting for.
Let's see who you are. I take off your disguise. And flick.
Oh, you flicked too hard, damn it!
Should we help him? And eventually, grape.
I like that Marvel's doing different things here, right? We see some of like the black and white, kind of like, a Sin City-esque type of visual look. I did like Thor Ragnarok. I didn't like Dark World. Sometimes I do feel like Thor is too comedic. It's like too silly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hate it. What I need them to explain is how the fuck Jane got the hammer. And like, did she just go from scientist to like fucking fighter chick god with a hammer?
It'd be so dope.
Was there like, did she do like any like tactical weapons training, or does she just get the hammer and all of a sudden the powers come and she's just like ready to go?
Who else in the Marvel universe are you questioning their I guess aside from
any character who just
Captain
steps
Marvel.
into a role? I need to understand, like, Jane, she literally was just a human on Earth and she was a scientist. I hope they explain. You're not at all curious how she's able to hold the hammer.
No, what I was just about to say is I think it would be so hilarious if they just never explained it. If they just were like, she just showed up and she's just doing dope shit.
I feel like that would be a horrible decision.
No, okay, but this goes into my larger question about this. This movie's either going to be kind of just like a repeat of Thor Ragnarok, of just like, oh, it was just a good time, or it's going to be the worst thing ever. Because the amount of just weird shit that they have in here, it's uncomfortable. How much weird shit that they've got going on in this one particular movie. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Addy said. So Addy was like, "Wow, a Thor action comedy. We must see it." Weak ass trailer. The trailer wasn't like amazing.
Yeah,
but Addy does watch
Well,
Gossip Girls.
He watches garbage, right? Yeah. But also, Addy says we got. So this comes from somebody who hates like the Marvel universe overall. So it's like, all right, yeah. So this isn't your thing, dude. Like it just
yeah.
Now,
how you hate the MCU, I don't know.
Yeah, if this was a trailer for fucking what is it?
Fucking
vampire something,
Vampire
high
Diaries
school
movie.
something. Yeah. Gossip Girl, Vampire Diaries crossover. If this was for that,
I'm sorry, but I'd rather watch gods fighting in space than 16-year-old girls arguing in high school.
But anything with Kristen Stewart trying to decide between Jacob and Edward, I don't know. I feel like this is.
Addy, you have to tell me if you've seen Euphoria. Have you seen Euphoria?
No, fuck yeah, I've seen Euphoria. Yo, Euphoria is good. No, that's not. No. That's quite the opposite.
I mean, but it's in the same space. But like,
it is not in the same space. Euphoria is for strictly adults.
Here's why.
Yeah.
It focuses on like the experiences and the time of the high school kids. Right?
No. In fact, the running joke is like nothing that they actually go through is shit that like high schoolers go through.
But what I'm saying is it focuses on, what are supposed to be a bunch of high school kids, right?
That's as much as they have in common, sure.
And that's as far as I'll go there.
Okay.
So like, but it's a clearly like better show than like fucking like One Tree Hill or something like that, right?
100%,
yeah. But so if Addy is like, no to Euphoria, yes to One Tree Hill, and no to Marvel, I'm like, sir, what the fuck is going on here? He's laughing. He said Euphoria is fantastic.
Twilight trash lies. I can go back to various podcasts. We'll put our research person on trying to find a clip of
Addy's gonna be in the next commercial with Kim Kardashian, like
beyond
delicious, beyond me. Like, sir, make up your mind.
Oh man, on that note, man, let's get the fuck out of here. I know we've been
been
at it for a while, man. That's my man, 100 grand, all day, every day. I don't even know what the fuck that means.
It sounded cool until you questioned it. I was really thinking in my head, that's my man, 100 grand. Oh, where'd you get the 100 grand from? But as long as the IRS isn't asking, it doesn't matter.
That's the way everything is, right? Everything sounds cool until you explain it.
That's like most rap music these days.
For sure. But yeah, we'll be back with you guys next week, same time, same place. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, have yourselves, I guess, the good rest of your Memorial Day. It's already over, but
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, no reason for that, but
none.
Yeah.
Do we need a reason?
No. Hey man, all you gotta do, man,
it's just a day of the year. Merry Christmas, everybody.
All you gotta do is hit that usual protocol.
Fade out.
Peace the fuck out, ladies and gentlemen.
Some people are probably really upset. I just said Merry Christmas.
I'm sure they are.